Food will be
We have-
served in 20 minutes.
Oh, that's perfect. We have to get a train in 3 hours.
Right.
So, if we could prevail of your hospitality until then.
Yes, please.
There's no one else here right now, so you, of course. Now,
You're gonna be murdered in this place.
We're gonna die.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how creepy is this woman?
hello everyone, welcome.
Oh God!
Whoa.
Are you okay? Is she dying?
Ignore me. I'm just gonna cough for.
Oh, we're off to a start.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out what my music thing is doing.
To be fair, that was me 10 minutes ago.
Hello everyone, welcome on in and happy
Hello.
Friday. I hope everyone has had a great day so far. And we are currently back with some Vaesen and Echoes of Eternity. Yes, I know it's a dramatic name, but you will understand it once we get there. And where I'm back with all of these lovely people and a new lovely person that unfortunately couldn't make it
Yay.
last time, but is here now. Yay! So while I try to figure out why Sirenscape is being a little bit of a butt, let's introduce everyone, and let's start with Keren.
Hello, I am Keren, sometimes known as the Mother of Bunnies. I'm a performer, a writer. I stream over at Corsair's Cove with JoshThePirate. And tonight I will be playing.
These are from Terris for you.
I've been handed a package that apparently is from Terris.
Open it on stream.
Yeah, I
Yes.
was had to open it on stream. Ardana, do you mind?
Nope, go for it.
Okay, I might have to cut the top. It's a bit sticky. And of course I can't. Oh, there they are. My desk is a mess. My desk is a mess. My desk is
Oh, no.
a desk.
The rain in Spain.
Okay. So we have some extra bits and bobs. That's cool. But I'm assuming this, so when I turn it around, I will see them. Oh my god.
The most deeply inappropriate dice for this setting.
Oh, they're so cute. Oh my god. I
Maybe
don't know if
we
my
need a
camera
bit
will
of
pick it
heat.
up, but I'll try. That is a tiny little bunny inside holding a
Aw.
little carrot. It's not really picking it up, but I promise you that is a tiny bunny holding a tiny carrot inside the dice. Oh, Terris, they're so great.
Mother of Bunnies just became a bunny mother to many more bunnies.
I now own 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7
There we go.
bunnies preserved in resin.
Now I'm going to have to use my
Whatever.
Terris chicken dice this session.
Excellent.
I've been rolling with my Terris pirate dice for ages.
All rolls
I should
tonight will
have
be
done
made
it
with bunny dice. And thank you so much, Terris. It's amazing. I love them. I will put some photos in the Corsair's Cove Discord
Yes.
so people can enjoy them. Where was I? Oh yeah, tonight I am playing Annika Blomqvist, who is a private detective lady, who reads a lot, observes a lot, and carries a gun. And is married to Ansford,
Yush.
who we will meet momentarily.
Yup. Josh. Who you?
Ahoy, mateys! I be Josh the Pirate. You can find me on my channel, Corsair's Cove, where I run D&D and other RPG games, like Jason Statham's Big Vacation. Check out the VODs for that wondrous piece of bullshit.
Absolutely hilarious and well worth the watch, by the way. Just saying.
Thank
It
you,
is
Terry.
solid. Our YouTube is currently uploading it right now. Yeah, other than that, Semi, as Zach says, the virus is spreading and I cannot be cured. You can find me here semi-regularly as well, because sometimes it's nice to just sit back and play. And yeah, that's about it. Tonight I will be playing Ansfrid Blomqvist. Scoundrel, husband, and pigeon enthusiast.
In that order?
An occasional occultist, in that order. Also, a sub, a knife thrower, and a furry, in that order.
What?
Okay.
Okay then.
You heard him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he said-
Some revelations being had right now.
Took a turn.
Yes. So,
Good turn for the
Some
interest.
of that may not be canon.
I mean, it could be.
All of it, maybe.
So, yes. Hi.
Cannon now, bitch.
Jess.
Hello. I. Never mind. I want to go home. I am playing Blender Unclint. Is that how you say it? I hope that's how you say it. It's how I'm saying it. It's your last
Your
name.
name.
Don't care. Well, it's actually Zach's. But damn. She is a hunter. She is married to Victor. She doesn't know what's wrong with him. Sorry. You have questions? No, you don't. She can't help
Does
you.
she care?
No, she just likes the guy.
Fair.
She has definitely not eaten Vaesen. I don't know what you're talking about, and yeah,
Oh,
it's fine.
goodness.
Don't worry about it.
Well, this is
Don't worry,
immediately
Nothing
suspicious.
bad will come of this.
Okay.
Okay.
Terris.
Hello, I am Sir Terris, your friendly neighborhood ferret. Tonight I will be playing Ambrose Drexard and his human, Leighton, who happens to be a doctor. Ambrose being the hairless cat that is currently in a pram in a train with
Yeah.
said humans.
The only way
Uh,
for cats to travel.
Yes. So yes, I will actually be playing Leighton Drexard, the very human doctor, and his cat Ambrose tonight. And yes, that's all we need to know about Leighton.
Very human. Don't worry about eating cats. Maybe a fairy. I'm loving this intro.
Yep.
Really.
I did not eat a cat.
Look, the more you deny it, the more we're going to suspect that that's the case.
It wasn't a cat.
Leighton just slowly moves Ambrose behind him.
Speaking of suspicious characters, Zach.
Hi, I'm Zach, or the Renegade Chicken, and overnight I developed vaccine resistance, so good luck getting rid of me now.
Yay.
Tonight I'm playing Victor Almclint, who is indeed married to Blender, and you get to see what that's like. What kind of person could genuinely just accept the husk of a man you met last week as he is? So
That should be the
we
reason
shall-
for.
We shall see.
And hi, I am Ardana or Joe or Oi you there if my regular players have any say in it. I am the GM and channel runner around these parts, and today I'm going to do my best to at least give some sort of semblance of a story to this thing. And I just realized that these guys are on a train, and I know you're not supposed to railroad your characters or players, but
It's allowed when
We
there's
can make an
actually a train.
exception.
yes.
Yeah. Playing Murder on the Orient Express, no one's allowed to be upset about it.
Yeah. Basically. I was going to say something else, but you know what? Yeah, let's get started. The music you heard at the intro was by Adrian von Ziegler. Yes, I have to say that, otherwise Twitch get mad at me. The music you're hopefully listening to right now, and OBS is telling me you can hear it, is by Sirenscape. And the images you're currently looking at are from the official core rulebook for Vaesen. Other stuff might pop up.
And they're very pretty.
They are very pretty.
Piano sting.
So, anyone want to do a recap of what happened last time?
I went to bed.
first.
It was-
Understandable.
That was basically all that happened, really.
Yeah.
Blender went to bed.
Just somewhere.
We received a couple of letters. One by Giant Fat Pigeon. One by that briefly eclipsed the moon. One by our fairy housekeeper lady, who actually acquired it earlier that day and didn't tell us because they're apparently also. I assume fairies have some form of ADHD, and I reckon this one definitely does.
Mhm.
Yeah, both
Oh,
of them
nice,
sort of
Terry.
asked for assistance in a place called, I'm going to go with Orn. And because I don't write notes, I'm a DM. And I have memory for that, maybe
Ora.
sometimes.
Close.
Aura. Okay. Oh yeah. Look, hell, that was. I got the first letter right. We get asked to go and investigate by two different but alike people who are struggling with similar problems, both of which seem to indicate a large bird is a problem, and I'm not just meaning like a tall woman. I'm meaning like a proper like angry raven creature, but like the size of a bear, capable of mauling cattle and or eating villagers. So we're going out to order. We have prepared ourselves. We've done a bit of research. Annika did a deep dive into the library on what the heck.
Valraun.
That's right. We think, we are not certain, but we think we're probably dealing with a Valraun, a creature that is sort of generated when I think crows eat the bodies of people who died in battle, or just large numbers of dead bodies or something. It's not great. And we don't know how to kill him. No one's ever seen him and fought with him and lived, which is super groovy. We're very happy to be going into this situation. So we did a bit of prep as much as possible prior to leaving.
Yes, we'll obtain some weapons and. Oh,
Yes,
and who could
weaponry
forget
was acquired.
Ansfred's mason jar of holy water?
Oh, yeah.
Ansfred just went for a walk to check the train schedule. And also the horse needed exercise. So Ansfred and the horse went to check the train schedule, and Ansfred made his obeisance at the local church, which was unlocked when he left. And the priest didn't seem to mind that he was there. He did pray a little bit. And look, if he's got a jar of water in his pocket, who gives a shit? You never know when it might be coming in handy. We did not in any way establish that holy water might be useful, but when isn't it? So yeah, then Victor,
Yeah.
Drink holy water and nothing else. It makes them stronger.
Answered. Victor and Leighton went to the underground, the castle, not in the best condition. The subterranean part of it, especially so. Went looking for the old armory, found it, found a couple of fancy shiny silver weapons in it. Victor shared, that was cool. Leighton asked him to teach him how guns work. And then we all went and got on a train with a horse and a cat in a baby carrier. And a pigeon where it fucking should be on someone's shoulder. Not minding, just minding its own business. I didn't even mention it was there. It just is. Just deal with it. That's where you know it is. There you go. I think that's about what happened.
It is currently uninjured, but copping some serious side eye.
Maybe carriage pushed between Victor and Ansford.
Yeah.
Look, I trust Ansfred. I'm not going to attack the bird unless it makes any sudden movements.
Oh, Einar is very well behaved.
So, and also because Abyss was such an absolute
Fucking
legend.
champion.
You
Everybody
all
gets a hero point.
exactly. All of you have a hero point, and because Ansfred was already given one last session, there is one for in the party pool as well.
Shiny.
So, for those who are not aware of how hero points work on this channel, they can, well, normally when I run D&D, they can be used to stabilize someone who is on death saves. You can succeed on a roll, or you can petition the GM for shenanigans. It's mostly used for shenanigans.
Yeah.
Shenanigans.
As it should
What? Shenanigans?
Yeah.
Art?
Yes, I know.
No, shenanigans.
Like one of the more memorable ones, times they was used for shenanigans was in my Dungeon of the Mad Mage campaign, where the Hexblade Warlock decided to stab the possibly not, definitely, absolutely not a half vampire bandit queen, and then throw 2 stakes at her croonies.
Well,
Yes.
I was quite proud of when we recruited a small army of kobolds.
Yes, that's another really, really
That worked.
memorable one.
It was a solid play.
Yep. Instead of having to kill all the kobolds, they now have 13 kobolds.
Yo, unionize.
Of
Cabal.
various colour.
Of various color, and
Yeah.
also in my homebrew world, dragonkin have been banished. So these are the only 13 kobolds in that world.
And they worship a baby golden dragon.
Yes.
They may multiply because even if they're all males right now, kobolds can change sex. To even
Yes.
out.
Love it.
Exactly. So yes,
Is David a girl now?
haven't
And
actually looked into
frogs.
that. We need to get back to that campaign
they
at
have
some point
evolved
because
the
there's
ability
one
to
act
maintain
left.
a
So.
perfect statistical average.
Life finds a way.
Yes.
Kobold explosion.
Mm. Don't like that.
No?
I'm gonna spend my hero point to veto that one.
Can I veto a veto with mine?
Oh man.
Oh, hello, Flybowman. And yes, if we
Ah.
are all...
Oh, hey.
Oh, hello.
Did you see that typo?
Yes, I did.
I
Perhaps...
tried to type thank, but my hands had like a weird spasm, so I typed wank.
Maybe wait until after stream. I don't want to get banned.
I'm going
As long
home.
as you're quiet.
No!
Aren't you?
But yes, okay, if we are...
Alright.
This shit sucks.
okay,
Yes, then. Yes.
if we are all as comfortable as we are going to get...
I don't know.
No. As you're going to get, Jess, listen to the whole
Ah,
sentence.
of course you're right. Yeah, fair. My bad. Continue.
Let's
It's
get
all downhill.
started.
Alright.
There we go. Okay, I had to listen for a certain thing. The train rumbles as it passes over seams in the rail. The carriage smells faintly of wood polish and mothballs, cheap perfume and packed food. Shadows play along the panelled walls, the wood groaning as the train sways. The sky is a steely grey barrier between earth and sky, unrelenting in its refusal to let the sun peek through. In the grey afternoon light, even the cough of the woman engrossed in her book to a few benches down seems muted, faded. No one sees the strange passengers riding in the coat racks and on the backs of seats, long ears flopping, long fingers reaching into packs in search for treats. No one, except the 5 of you. The seats are surprisingly comfortable for being train. You have been given tickets to second class, so they are actually padded. Even though there's not luxurious, it's at least decent. The carriage is packed with people. Some children are running up and down the aisle. I think it's called an aisle. the carriage
Yep.
chasing each other, trying to not be absolutely bored out of their skulls. As you were boarding the train earlier, you were joined by one of your members that was not there the day before. Glenda, what
Yes.
what were you doing and what do you look like?
Well, honestly, I feel like what she looks like is somewhere between the actual stock image of a hunter and you'll know that older woman from Atlantis, an absolute icon.
Mm-hmm.
You know her? Yeah, her. Somewhere between that. As for what I was doing, don't worry about it. I'm just here for Victor. He'll get himself in trouble if I don't show up. And I might not ever see him again. So she's just gonna kind of sit herself down next to him and just look at him. She's not gonna say anything, she's just gonna look at him.
I think we'll just look back. Nod. Go back to I think he's got like the sort of tarnished rapier out on his lap, although he has tied up a small bundle of sort of like cloth and rags and jammed it onto the tip of the blade to make sure that there's no chance of it hurting anyone, and is just kind of oiling it, and like I suppose you wouldn't really need to whetstone the edge of a rapier because it's not really a slashing weapon, so I think it would probably predominantly just be oiling it until he gets to the like sort of point of the blade, at least.
You will be slightly interrupted as two, not little paws, but like medium-sized paws that will be placed up upon your knees, and looking you in the face is a classic long-eared, long-faced bloodhound. His name is
Big
Fluffy.
floppy ears. Big
I
jowls.
Small question.
Mm-hmm.
What level of
Okay.
shedding is this dog doing?
None. He's very
Excellent.
hypoallergenic.
Excellent. Leighton is not then, therefore, sneezing his head off.
I do think that if he notices it,
His paws are on you. He's like,
yes,
excuse me, Dad.
I think in a similar fashion to what the rest of you saw in the previous session, there's no sort of outwards acknowledgement, but sometime in the next sort of 30 seconds to a minute, despite the fact that the motion has barely changed, he's no longer polishing the blade and is instead patting the dog's head.
Yeah.
I think Fluffy would just kind of squish himself up in between the two of us, lay down and go to sleep.
And I'll go back to polishing the sword.
Blender's not acknowledged anybody else.
Leighton, seeing children running around and being unruly, is actually going to pull a book out of one of his
Thought you were gonna
bags.
say
It's like,
gun.
no, a book. And he is going to start reading rather expressively and aloud some kind of dark stories of the Norse kind of fairy tales to these children to try and keep them less unruly.
And the moral
Actually,
of
no.
this fable is if you run around on the train, someone will kill you and you will die.
Actually, no, I think he's
Me.
actually pulled it out of
I
the
will
pram
kill
where
you.
his cat is. And yes, Blender, you will have noticed Ambrose, the hairless cat, inside a pram. Oh, she's disappeared.
The running children
Mm.
is a job for Ansfred. One child comes a little too close and goes fucking flying. Face over apex. It's quick, it's subtle, but it's absolutely his foot.
Yep, Leighton is
and-
immediately on his feet to check that this child is okay and to administer first aid when needed.
This kid doesn't hit the floor.
Yeah.
Ansfred
Good dear.
catches him by the scruff as he
Good
goes
dear.
face over apex. Says, "You must be more careful when running around on the train." And then Ansfred, what Vaesen are in the racks around?
Based on your knowledge, possibly Vetir, mostly harmless. They tend to
Yeah.
be where humans are, and they can
Yeah.
either be helpful, or if you piss them off, they are going to be very much not so. They tend to travel in
Yeah.
groups of 5 or more.
Yeah. Catches him and says, "You must be more careful. Sometimes the Vetir, they take the ones who go under the seats, and they don't come back out.
You see,
Slow is smooth. Smooth is fast. Now go."
you see big eyes just. All right, just long measured steps instead of running around, and then not too long after, you see the same child
Oh,
just.
I think you're muted, Karen.
I'm always muted. It's a curse. You just see Annika like just raise her book high enough to hide the fact that she's laughing.
Glenda will actually add on as the kid goes running. They prefer to chase the ones who run.
You see the other kids just freeze in place, just. Yes, yeah, okay. And then the kid you saw Ansfrid talk to after a while just put his head under the seat to see if there's actually something under there.
If he is distracted enough that he won't notice,
Mhm.
Leighton is going to very gently take Ambrose out of the carrier, out of the pram, and then just on the other side of the seat, just sort of edge him down under it for a moment. So there's just a horrible little gremlin cat face in this kid's face. And
Yeah,
suddenly there's
passing
just
the
a
time by making children shit their pants.
You hear a shriek, the kind of shriek only a child that's been startled can make, and then backing away and just popping up to a seat next to what looks like some form of matron figure, and just sitting very, very still, very nice, very turns
Leighton will
into.
then return cat. Yeah, Leighton will then return cat to pram and go back to reading his fairy tales aloud.
Excellent.
What did you do on the train? I just terrorized some children, just casually.
Taught them manners
He'd also
is
be-
what we did.
He'd also be trying to feed the Vaesen, actually, to appease them, so they don't in fact eat children.
I was like, feed them to who?
No, like he's got little bits of bread and cheese and whatever he's, got stuffed
Yeah.
away in his bag. He's just breaking bits off to try and feed any that get close.
Yeah, you see a couple just discreetly try to just make a show of not taking it, but you can see like
Yeah.
overly long fingers grasping for whatever
So they are
morsels.
cats.
Basically.
Yeah, he'll put it down and then he'll pretend he's not looking,
Yeah.
so they can steal it. He knows this game. This is a game that he plays.
It's still daytime, right? Even considering, I think that there's probably like he once again has like the collar on his large jacket like turned all the way up.
Mhm.
I do think that curiosity and paranoia are maybe getting the better of him after so long of sitting in one place, and I do think that if possible, I'd like to look out of the train and see if I can spot any birds.
Yeah, absolutely. If you roll me an observation check, please. And I will.
Ooh. Oh, wait, question. Could I do what was it called? Vigilance
Yes.
instead.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So, and you roll that number of dice, right? I'm just trying to remember the system.
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dice.
Wow.
Let me.
I am fairly logical, and he's extremely paranoid.
Built for checking out birds.
Yep. I posted an image
Uh,
of what
Indeed.
Vettir look like.
Yes.
Lovely dude, like sentient lawn gnomes.
Yes.
On 6 dice, I got a singular 6. But I did get
That's
1.
exactly what you should get.
One of them's
And-
carrying a little frog in his bag.
Yeah.
As a,
never
as
know
a
when you might
face
need one.
appears over your shoulder, Victor, and just, is it birds again?
I think he will wait to see what he spots before he responds, kind of pausing, his eyes, like head perfectly still, but eyes doing the like
Yep.
like shooting all over the place.
As the train is passing by the landscape, you can see like several. Why is my brain caught on corvum? It's not called that in our
Corvid.
actual
Crows?
world. Crows, out on the field, and you can also see up in the sky a single. Is it called a hawk? Yeah, it's a hawk that seems to just stay in motion, as if hunting for something.
I think his eyes linger on the hawk for a while before he very slowly turns back in his seat, and just probably, as he just sort of continues to polish it off. But I think now that he's spotted it, you would notice that until it leaves sight, every few seconds his eyes go to that hawk in the sky, trying to see if it's following him.
Blender's just gonna kind of pat your head. Nothing else.
I mean, it won't be there for very long if it's just floating and we're on a freaking train.
Unless it's following him.
I was gonna say
Unless
that's what
it is following him.
that's what I'm like. He's aware that that is the case, but he's also fully convinced that it's definitely only floating there because it was waiting for him in the train to get to where it was, and now it's going to start following me.
Yeah.
'Cause that's how
Logical,
these things
totally
work.
normal things to think. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The bourgeoisie are after me, dude.
The bird was.
And everyone knows the birds work for the bourgeoisie.
Right. Okay. That's why the car rental company is called No Birds.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anti-establishment.
old Vine references aside.
Birds work for the bourgeoisie.
Yes. Yeah, I do think that he will silently return to his polishing, and I don't think that he'll be very talkative unless spoken to during the trip.
There it is.
And meanwhile, it's just continuing to read out loud.
You're getting a few looks from various parents, Leighton, that maybe you shouldn't be, reading horror stories to children.
Oh, they're just fairy tales.
Oh.
No, the one about the women with the spikes in their spines. I love that one.
Yeah, he will take requests. So, yeah, he will flip through. Just no. Ah, here we go. And yeah, he's quite good at the reading thing.
He's great at the reading thing.
He does all the voices and everything.
He's bad at the reading the room thing, but he's very good at the reading.
Yes.
Incredible.
Um,
Question, just as a short thing, if I do spend some time during this trip sort of polishing it up, does the weapon kind of return to any sort of sheen, or is it
Yes.
a little too tarnished?
There's still a few spots that you can't really get rid of without proper, like,
Mm-hmm.
silver polish, but it does go back to mostly its former sheen.
Okay, I think in that case, just sort of like partway through the day, we'll sort of grunt with the sort of like satisfaction and sheath the thing before holding a hand out towards Ansfred, and will just would you like me to polish the knife?
Oh. Ansfred gets out the knife, and it's very clean. Before I went to sleep.
Very good.
But thank you.
And goes it back to staring out the
Perhaps
window.
you
for
could put a
time.
better edge on it, though. Actually, no. He would, when you go back to staring out the window, then Ansfred would say, though, perhaps it could stand to have a better edge on it. Not like a rapier. It needs a blade. You're probably better at that than I am.
Slow nod before looking over towards Leighton, and I'm not going to interrupt your story.
You think
Uh,
I the story?
Will nod as he takes the blade from Ansfred, and there proceeds some, no doubt, much longer than it seems period of time of just pause as the whetstone runs down the length of the knife blade, and he painstakingly begins to file it back to a point.
Blender looks at is it? Oh, I don't know how to say your name.
Ansfred.
Ansfred. It is just Ansfred. Yeah, very gratefully. Like, thanks for giving him something to do.
Yeah.
Victor needs enrichment.
No words needed be said. Victor gives her a single nod.
Looking out through the window, you see that the hawk is right before it passes out of view. You see it suddenly just fold its wings and then dart down into the field and vanish out of sight as the train turns a corner and passes through a small collection of trees that I don't remember what the English name is for.
Like
Cops.
a copse.
Yeah, like a copse. And then as you pass out of it, you can no longer see the field itself.
The only thing worse than a bird you can see is a bird you can't see.
I think
Blender now throws you the filthiest fucking look.
I didn't say that in character. My accent wasn't there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I think the like as soon as he's sort of sees the bird's wings fold in,
Yeah.
his shoulders raise like a good sort of half an inch as he just sort of like full tenses up and freezes, and then as soon as it's out of sight and it doesn't re-enter, his shoulders do not return, and I think the sound of the whetstone gets a bit more shrill.
A hand on your shoulder and just, you're going to oversharpen it.
Grunts turns it over the other side.
You are getting some filthy looks from the other passengers, particularly the mother of the now
has
terrified
no
child.
idea. He has absolutely no idea. I think especially because I'm kind of imagined it as like him being seated in such a way that although Ansfred was able to sort of watch everything, if he's seated across from Ansfred, his back is probably to the other passengers mostly.
Yeah.
And I think just with how he has fixated on the birds and with keeping his hands busy, I genuinely don't think he necessarily remembers or is considering that there are other passengers on the train. And so I think just completely oblivious to it, just continues to do exactly what he's doing until he's satisfied.
Yep.
Ansfred is fully aware that other people are angry and staring, and he's mildly amused. Because these are fancy people, and he enjoys nothing more than shitting off fancy people.
And I'm sure Ansfred would probably also, especially if we've known each other for a while, be aware that that tends to be the reaction Victor gets from most people in public anyway, so...
Yeah. Well, also, he is in no way concerned that anyone's going to complain. The problem is that a man is sharpening a weapon.
Yes.
And all of his friends seem completely fine with it, and there's a bigger problem.
They don't know that I'm perfectly reasonable.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Careful.
They
Sorry.
don't know that your wife isn't.
Yeah. I was like, you may be. There's a couple of us here that are absolutely not.
Oh, absolutely.
As
Listen,
sorry.
tell Zivon about what happens to people who stare.
Stare
And she's
them
going to turn to face the mother of this child and say, their eyelids get sucked into the back of their heads.
Oh.
And then back to Victor.
I think he finally puts the whetstone away after like a good 40 minutes. And just retrieves the oiled rag again.
Attica is just ignoring all of this.
Yeah.
She's not shocked. She's not surprised. She's barely even bothered. It just happens. She's got reading to
is-
do.
Yeah,
Though she,
How goes your research, my love?
well, unfortunately, I haven't learned anything about banishing them yet. Which really is a gap in our kind of available literature.
We can just shoot them. And she's going to brandish her hunting rifle.
Were it so easy?
You might just make it mad.
Donna,
I'm-
question.
Mhm.
But you might kill it. Worth a shot.
Yes.
I have been trying to entertain and feed the small basin on the train
Mhm.
for the last
Ah.
at least hour. Do any look like they are less shy of me at this point? That I could potentially interact with one quietly.
Mm. Yeah, there's a particular one that seems to have very, very long, floppy ears. Very kind of similar to the dog currently
Ah.
not too far away from you. Except this one has more of a toad-like face, and it's kind of, well, one, it's walking on two legs. It also has, compared to the one of the others that has very long fingers, this one has almost human hands, and the wide mouth and the long ears is what sets it apart from the others of its kind. Totally right now in the carriage, you have 6 of these tiny things, but only one is near you, Leighton.
He's just going to very quietly, not making direct eye contact, look down. Just, would you like to sit up in the pram with my cat and share some food and maybe a story? Could we have a chat?
Why? Wait, you can see me?
Oh yes.
Oh no! You're not supposed to see us.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry.
Oh no!
Some people can.
Oh no, it's fine. Oh yeah. I know, but no one ever sees us on the train.
Oh well, no, generally not. But our little party, our little group here, we can, and we're not unhappy about your presence.
Well, I should think so. We do good things mostly.
You do.
Sometimes.
You do. Sometimes slightly naughty things.
Well, it depends.
When you say no one can see you on the train, just is there a reason no one can see you on the train?
Well, most people can't see us at all. Most people don't have the sight.
No.
And
No.
But you
but,
said
uh,
no one can.
well, we're good at hiding usually.
Yes.
But then sometimes we get careless, like now,
I-
and
I was
come.
worried there was a spell or something.
No.
Oh, no.
Come, sit.
um,
Sit. Best seat in second class. shows Ambrose's cushioned bed. Just sit, share a snack with us, and maybe we can ask you a few questions about other creatures of your ilk.
Well, well, you have my friends, well, family friends. It's a little bit difficult to explain. You humans have weird words for things.
Cousins, perhaps.
Close enough, yes.
Well, no, there's your cousins, but have you ever heard of a great raven beast? Fell brute that rips and tears. Born of ravens eating the flesh of the dead in old battlefields? Do you know of such a beast?
I thought you were going to say werewolf.
That was my first thought.
No. No, I don't know about the raven thing doing that.
All the vowel round.
I could go ask Nick. Nick might know. She's the oldest one.
If you would, I'm sure we could spare some honeyed bread.
Oh, honey is good. Honey is really good. Well, I can go for ask Nick. She might know. She's been around.
Yes. And until we're gone, you're more than welcome to share the sleeping quarters of my dear cat Ambrose. He won't eat you, I promise.
The tiny creature lifts a finger and then tries to poke Ambrose on the face.
And he'll move his nose over and do the nose bump and purr quite a bit. Many of us.
What happened to your cat's fur?
He was born without it.
Oh.
Searched
Okay.
by a hag.
I'll go check with Nick. Yes, I'll go check with Nick. And the small creature will just do that. You know that jump over barriers kind of thing that people do in
Yes.
action movies. He's gonna do that out of the pram.
parkour.
Yeah, parkour out of the pram, and with a thump land on the floor of the carriage, and then toddle off to a different carriage.
They can't see them, but can people hear them?
Yes.
The train is
Interesting.
quite loud.
Noisy.
though.
It's fine. It's
Tickety
fine.
tack.
Is it though? We have scared, like, there's no noise in the train because we scared the shit out of the children and they're now cowering.
I mean,
Well,
as
people are
far as
still
they're
talking, though.
concerned, like, what is it? The noise of the knife sharpening has stopped, and it's just been replaced with the eccentric-looking doctor bending over the pram with his cat in it and talking quietly. So it's weird, but I don't think it's like, hang on a minute, there's something that's changed from 5 minutes ago. Weird.
That said, do the people understand that this is a cat, or do they think that it may be a very ugly baby?
It's just a raw chicken, bro.
Hairy baby.
Man's got uncooked poultry in a carriage. What the hell?
I think that it took a moment for people to realize that it is supposed to be a cat. Most people have probably not seen a hairless cat. Normally they have fur. But
Yes, there's something very wrong with that cat.
yeah.
What's wrong with your cat?
Annika's been paying attention but not commenting. But after the little Vetia has scampered away, she's gonna. Do you think you can fit all of them in that carriage, just in case they take you up on it?
I think so. You know,
And
Ambrose
Annika eyes the carriage kind of dubiously. It's like, I don't know how many. Just thinking that meme's like this bad boy can fit so many Vetir in it.
How big are they? Like that one's the size of only like 3 times the size of a frog, so it's not
Yeah.
very big.
No, they're not very
Unless
big
that's
at
a
all.
fucking big frog.
No, they're
Yeah, right.
maybe like, yay.
Okay.
It's a
Yeah,
foot
it'd be a
at
bit of a
most.
squeeze to get all 6 in there, but yeah, I could see that.
It was a particularly luxurious cat carriage, you know.
It is.
Oh,
Let's be honest.
it's a baby carriage that's just had some mesh that sort of gets moved down, put around it so he can't jump out.
Ah.
Yeah.
It
And
takes
quite a luxurious looking baby carriage at that.
it takes a few hours. It being middle of Sweden in the middle of summer, I'm not gonna say the sun sets, but it does get darker, and the twilight is playing along the train as it moves ever northwest from where you were at. It takes, a few hours, and then the long-haired Vetir comes back with what could generously be described as a ragdoll with a cane.
Amazing.
She is wrinkly. Her clothing is mostly probably made out of whatever leftover fabrics left on the train. Finely tailored though. It's but it doesn't really match. Part of one sleeve is made out of a napkin, the other is made out of what looks like some just linen, and but it's really finely made and fits her perfectly. And she walks over to where you're sitting, being led by the long-haired one, and glares up at the group, trying to figure out where exactly she was needed.
Oh, hello. Would you like help up?
If you wouldn't mind, yes, that would be nice. I'm not as flexible as I once was.
Yeah, Leighton will lean down, sort of bend down, still sitting, and just very gently scoop her up and place her next to Ambrose, then offer the other long-eared fellow help up if he would also like it, to sit him next to her. At which point he'll take some bread out of his supplies, and out of his medical bag, he'll take a large jar of honey that he often uses to place over burns or abrasions.
Yeah.
And just drizzle some of that on the bread, break it in half, and give a piece to each of them.
The long-haired one plops down next to the edge of the pram, grabs the bread, and just shoves the entire piece into his frog-like mouth. And you can tell that there are no teeth in there. He's basically a lizard. Just munch, munch, munch,
Yum,
munch.
yum, yum.
A frog?
Yeah, a frog. Destroying it by pressure and not teeth. The female one, Nick, sits very proper on top of the pillow, and her cane resting on her knees, and so young Bull here tells me that you were asking about the big raven thing called the Valram.
That is correct.
It's I have never seen one myself. They are very rare. Although people say that about the werewolves as well, and I have seen 4 of those in my lifetime.
Oh, goodness, 4. That is an awful lot.
Indeed.
Oh, more than I have.
But my grandpappy saw a Valran once down by a siege in Denmark. They are from Denmark originally, you know.
I believe we learned something about that, but do go on.
And my memory kind of fails me a bit. And she eyes the bread and honey again. Just
He'll drizzle another bit of honey on some bread, and he'll take a small container. Now he has a bottle of alcohol as one of his items that
Of
he
course.
just has, and it does do something. It does it inspires people, I believe. He's just going to take a very small amount of that and put it in almost like a thimble type, like a very small container that he might use for measuring out medications. And he's going to hand that to her as well.
Rubbing alcohol.
No, it's
Just
drinking
giving her
alcohol.
ethanol. Okay.
No, it's drinking alcohol. It's drinking alcohol. It's not
Right.
rubbing alcohol.
Oh.
It's for inspiration.
I know
I
it's
think we
only
should
a
give her
tiny
rubbing
bit.
alcohol.
I was gonna say, I know you're only giving them a tiny bit, but the BMI ratio, she's gonna be
Yeah.
gone instantly.
She's also really old, so her alcohol tolerance might be like insane.
Yeah, it could be really high.
Like one of those
Yeah,
old
but-
ladies who can like knock back half a bottle of
She
sherry
can-
and
She can
I
drink a
believe-
whole bottle without falling over once.
I believe this would be the sort of alcohol that you'd have to negate shock or something like that.
yeah,
Not necessarily for sterilization.
yeah, exactly.
Kitty.
So this
Yes.
is strong shit.
So I got
Yeah, just
companion.
a little bit.
Hi. And she looks at the thimble and then in one gulp just knocks back the whole thing before shoving another piece of bread in her mouth. And she, Cat, that's my dice. We're not knocking them on the floor, please.
This
And
is just me on an average Saturday night, by the way.
yes, honeyed bread and alcohol. You mean?
Shot, honey bread, shot.
And you see a
too.
full body shudder. Just oh, that was nice. Oh,
Schnapps.
it seems bad. Yes,
Probably.
Yes, my memory seems to be coming back to me now. What my grandpappy said that was that the Valround, they oh, sorry, my thoughts run away with me. They
Oh,
don't
sorry.
like consecrated ground,
Oh.
and I believe
I was gonna add that
Yeah.
Annika's swapped her book for her little notebook and pencil and is trying to discreetly write down everything.
I think Ansford actually just, without saying anything, reached into your bag and replaced your book with your notebook, like in your hands, just sort of.
Blender is gonna turn to Victor and just say, "You're not living in a church." As they've just said that those things hate consecrated ground.
There's more than one way to consecrate ground.
Yeah, I think Victor, in response to the initial statement from Blender, just slowly shakes his head, and I think otherwise has not moved, is still just polishing sort of the edge of the blade off, but has slowed considerably as he is paying attention.
Grandpappy also said something about them throwing church silver at the thing, but I'm not sure how efficient that was. And also the priest got mad.
They do tend to get mad with things like that, and stolen books and the like.
Yeah,
Not in my experience, but.
I remember something about them chasing it down with like a candle holder. But I don't. Like I said, it was my grandpappy's story, and I was young when he told it. So, and I am obviously not young anymore.
Oh. How long do these creatures tend to live?
About 200-300 years.
Yeah, just. Oh, I don't think you look a day over 100.
Oh, you flattered you. But I think that if you have something blessed by the clergy, you can defeat it. But I'm not entirely sure what.
Do you think
Ansford
holy water would
beams.
do the trick?
Just does this grin fit to split his face.
I was gonna say, I think just there'll just be like a subtle nod, and I think just quietly, just thinking.
Terris, I didn't hear what you were
Thank
saying.
goodness we have a whole
Oh.
jar of holy water.
Yes. Just do you think holy water would do the trick then?
Oh, I mean, it's blessed, so
Yes.
and consecrated. So probably, maybe just
Hope I picked the right font.
just she looks a little bit uncomfortable suddenly.
Outrageous.
Please don't put it near us. So that would be.
Oh, of course not. Of course not. Oh, you're great friends to us. We would never. And yeah, he's going to take both of her hands just very gently and hold them in his own, engulfing basically her entire hands. Just a gesture of gratitude. Just you have been invaluable, madam. And he's then just going to give her another thimble of the alcohol and a very large hunk of bread with honey.
You are
Just yes, invaluable, and do feel free to rest your weary bones while we're here. And yeah,
Oh, thank you. It's nice to be able to speak with tall folk, even though most of you can't see us. It's nice.
yes,
Hmm.
it's also nice to speak with you.
Yes.
Finishing up what he was doing, he'll silently just hand the knife back over to Ansfred. I think looking towards the small one, having heard what Leighton just said, just cocks his head slightly and just, do you have bones?
To who?
Nope. Don't.
Keren
Yeah.
apparently,
Okay,
undoubtedly,
Keren,
allegedly,
hello.
does
Hard
not.
pass on that one.
I am reading and writing.
We are in a thunderstorm. That's our
Yeah.
lightning has browned. Our lights have browned out twice already.
Mhm.
So if we do drop out, that's why. Apologies.
Yeah.
No worries.
Yay, you're
She's
back.
Yay!
But yes, addressing the small one, will ask, rather bluntly, but with no sort of, at least no intentional sort of hint of malice or anything, whether they have bones.
Why, yes.
Fluffy's head perks up when you say bones.
Oh,
Very interesting. Thank
Wait,
you.
not
does
for
not have-
you.
And we'll sort of just sit back into the chair, his now idle hands, one of them going to Fluffy's head.
Yeah, Leighton does not have bones in his pockets, but he does
Relaxes.
pull out a small piece of dried fish, break it in half, give half to Fluffy and half to Ambrose.
Fluffy is going to take it gratefully and spend the next however long chewing on it. It smells so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
as the hours
What else?
idle on this train, the two Vettir eventually leave. The older one being helped down, not doing that graceful parkour landing, but more of a climbing carefully. And then they vanish seemingly in between the where the carriages are coupled together. They walk out the door and then
Yes.
just the door on the other side does not open. They seem to just vanish.
I like to imagine that Ansfred and DM can note this because this actually is kind of meaningful, but Ansfred looks over Leighton's shoulder a little while later, just as the Vettir are leaving, and the little boy he tripped and caught is sitting next to his mother, and his eyes are fixed on
Yeah.
the pram, and his just wide as dinner plates. Like he just saw something climb out of that pram, and
You
he's like,
scared this kid so bad you gave him the sight.
"Oh fuck!"
I love that.
Just
Yes.
because Leighton's been sitting there for the last hour having an animated conversation with nothing. Um, and bread has been routinely disappearing.
Yes.
Either this guy's feeding his cat carbohydrates, or
Yeah.
I mean, my cat, she would have been 19 this year actually. She loved donuts. If you had a donut,
Really?
if you had a
Oh, yeah.
specifically
true.
cinnamon donuts, if you had a cinnamon donut, she would come running. She can smell that shit from across the house.
Oh yeah, my
Karen's
once
old rabbit
stole-
Tori.
Almost a whole one off of my
Thank you.
plate and just ran.
Karen's old rabbit Tori once stole an entire bacon and cheese toasty from
Yeah.
my plate on
Amazing.
my lap. Just comes up like, "What have you got? What have you got?" Grabs, runs. I'm like, "You little fucker!"
He used to
She's
steal my
super
fruit
helpful.
toast as well. Little bastard. R.I.P.
Yeah.
This,
This,
just a thief.
this little cat here loves French fries
Oh yeah.
and
loves French fries.
soft pretzels.
So
Oh,
what I'm
yeah.
hearing is feeding your cat carbohydrates is normal and okay,
Standard and not a
don't
bad
worry
thing.
about
Yeah.
a small child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, I don't have a pet story, but at my work we do have a bunch of kookaburras that have figured out where the cafe is, and if you don't cover your plate in foil, they will actively attack you to get you to drop whatever you are carrying, and they will take your lunch up into the trees.
Amazing.
I have 2 breeding pairs of kookaburras up
Oh,
at my
no.
stables. A normal pair and an albino pair, and that tracks,
Oh, wow.
actually. I also have 2 pairs of tawny frogmouths, one albino, one...
Oh, those things fucking hate me.
Oh, they
I
love
don't know
me.
why. My first bad experience with one was at a petting zoo when I was 7, and it bit me. And ever since then, anytime I've seen a tawny frogmouth, I have been like harassed. And by harassed, I mean similar to Victor. Like they just sit on my fucking fence and they just stare at me.
So
They hate
Minor
me.
pets. I've got the licensing for them and everything.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So I love that idea of the small child just wait, they're real? What?
I think we've just been freaky enough that it's like this is something to watch, seeing as
Yeah.
I'm not allowed
Yes.
to run around.
Yeah.
And technically, the book says you don't it doesn't have to be trauma. That's just the most common. It can be like accident or misadventure or like a freak occurrence.
Yeah.
It was a misadventure.
Yeah, and Leighton, as though nothing has happened, picks up a different book. I just did Google. It was published in the time. He is going to pick up Alice in Wonderland, probably in their native language, and just start
Yeah.
happily reading that out loud at this point.
Nice. Yes.
Amazing.
Yes, it would have been published at the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're after a short while reading, you would have the attention of most of the children in the cart, even though the small boy sitting by his mother is not moving and still trying to figure out what just happened. The
Having an
others are
existential
looking at
crisis.
you as you read, and most of the rest of the evening passes uneventful. Eventually, the small children seem to curl up to sleep.
Do very sort of
Mhm.
quietly at some point in the evening, I think that Victor would sort of half sit up and looking towards Annika will just could I borrow some paper and a pen?
Oh, sure. And Annika will rummage around and find the suitable equipment and hand it over.
Thank you. And we'll scratch out a note that probably takes him all of maybe 1 minute, and then just hands the pen back silently and just folds the paper up and sort of holds onto it. at some point when he sort of goes to sort of get up or stretch his legs or anything,
Mhm.
if he is certain that the mother is not looking, he will slip the note to the kid.
Mhm.
Uh, in exactly the sort of fashion that you'd probably expect. It is well-intentioned and poorly delivered. As the actual the writing on it basically says, don't tell adults about what you saw, or you will be sent to hospital forever. If you ever need friends, and has the address of the castle that we live at. As he's basically
Fred was going to
warning
do
the kid.
something similar, so
As he basically warns the kid, like, because it is a genuine concern,
Yeah.
don't tell people
Yeah.
you have the sight or you'll get institutionalized. If
Yeah.
you need to talk to someone about it, come find us. But he delivers it, I think, with a bluntness that is probably terrifying to the small child. So
Yeah.
whenever they read it, I think he will just, like, if they look up, he's just like staring at them, and he'll just lock eyes and just nod slowly before turning back around in his seat.
Absolutely.
On a similar vein,
Ah,
Yep.
Blender
Of
will
trauma
leave,
and
like,
trains.
when we leave the train, or when the kid leaves the train, Blender will just hit him with a good luck.
Yeah, it's sometime in the middle of the night, the most of the kids and the families they belong to get off, and the
One small addendum, actually, at the very end of the note, it just additionally just don't trust birds.
You said this kid hadn't been traumatized. I think he fucking has.
What did you write?
He has now.
Victor? Victor, what did you tell the child?
I told him not to spread around that he has the sight.
Mhm.
I told him where to find us, and not to trust the birds.
She's just gonna lightly smack you upside the back of the head. They may be following you. They may not be following that small child who is now shit scared.
I think you'll see him just sort of like shrug and just maybe not yet.
What if they have a canary?
Then he would do well to be distrustful of it.
She's just gonna shake her head. Pat
Fully
Fluffy,
just
and
like
just ignore you.
I think like has not actually like made eye contact during the conversation, just continuing to stare straight ahead, deadpan as he says it all.
Yeah, so the car or the carriage takes off again into the night. The air quiet, still, like only a train car can be in the middle of the night. The only sounds come from whenever the train passes over a seam in the rail, and whatever sounds you are making, breathing, talking.
I fully think as well that as it like gets proper dark, and the other passengers have disembarked, Victor has gotten down off the chair and is curled up about as small as he can, and is resting sort of like on the floor beneath, between the chairs beneath the window, to make sure that especially at night, that he is not in view of the glass.
Linton will
Fluffy
pull a
knows-
small cushion from Ambrose's pram and put it and hand it to you for your head.
Fluffy knows the drill by now and is pretty much just gonna lay himself on top of you, kind of covering you, acting as a weighted blanket. My hunting dog is actually a therapy dog for this poor man.
I think
Annika's a
with-
basic
with-
bitch. She just uses Ansford's shoulder.
I think with that much
Hunsford
assistance,
joins-
especially, he passes out very quickly.
Hunsford
Aw.
draws the curtains.
See, that's all
Yeah.
well
I'm
and
an
good
idiot.
for birds that can't move curtains, but
It's those
And then
sneaky,
sits
like.
right next to him with a pigeon on his shoulder.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
an okay. That
He's-
pigeon's allowed.
I think he is fully asleep very quickly, but I think you'd know, you spend enough time with him. He is like the lightest of light sleepers. Any sort of like sudden movement or even like noise above a whisper in his vicinity, and he is sort of like not necessarily jumping to his feet, but like one eye will just sort of like snap open as he'll sort of look around and close it again.
Just a huff from on top of you from Fluffy, just like, go the fuck back to sleep, old man.
As the night progresses, from time to time, you hear doors opening in the carriage, and at one point, the train conductor walks past, just brief check-in. The night air seeps in from between the carriages as the door opens. A cold just breeze along the floor before it turns back warm again. Well, warm-ish. There's no central heating on this train, but it's warmer than outside.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
After another few hours, the sun starts to rise again. In the summer, this far north, the sun doesn't really set. It becomes an eerie gray and then goes back to a bright light of dawn. The previous day was gray and bleak, but this one seems to at least promise some sunlight. And most of the journey, while uncomfortable and stiff and kind of tiresome, you only really experience if you've been somewhat uncomfortable for a few days, like traveling in a car or a train or similar. You finally arrive at a small train station in what seems to be middle of nowhere. The train conductor comes by and calls out, "Final stop before Norway, final stop." And
No, we don't want to be going there.
No, I suppose not.
And yeah, you have been on your tickets. It says this station. You were recommended to go here. It's a small station called Enafors because it's now right next to a river with a small grain mill attached to the water, a water mill, and thick with logs floating around in it. Disembarking, the air is crisp in a way that you could never experience down in Uppsala. Not cold, but fresh and heavy with the sense of summer.
I do actually think that at getting a breath of the sort of more country air, I do think that some of like there'd be a deep sigh of sort of almost like relaxing kind of from Victor as he sort of steps out and looks around before turning back, probably to Annika, given she's sort of the smarts of the group, and will which way?
Did we kind of consult a map as in to ascertain which direction we're going from here? Was there a plan? I don't remember.
No, I don't think you
I
did.
We
believe-
booked accommodation.
Yeah, I believe Leighton
we
booked
didn't.
a house.
Yeah.
Mm.
We talked to the DM that we could get one, but I don't
Ah.
think we booked it.
No.
Because the fastest way of getting information around is, well, Telegram, but I suspect we are just going to get one when we get here. So
Yes.
beyond the people who've asked us to come, there is no itinerary, I don't think.
No.
Mm.
So looking around. Yep.
Is there like a helpful sign that says this way to Aura?
No, but you do find, as you're standing there at the train station, the station house itself is a small yellow wooden building. And looking around, you see a huge lumber mill up in the distance. You see what looks like a hotel building in the distance, in the opposite direction, and a small smattering of houses surrounding the area. None of those houses are more than maybe 10 minutes walk away from the station. Looking
Which of us
inside,
is the most? Sorry, continue.
looking inside the station building, you do see a small map on the wall. Well, I say small,
Hey.
but there's a map on the wall.
Nice.
It's
I go to have a
stylized.
look. Does it have a nice red "You are here" dot on it?
City girls.
Yes.
If it, oh, damn, I was gonna say if it doesn't, I'm gonna draw one at just a random point.
Inaccurately.
There is a small notice of this is where you're at, and you see the name of the small village and the train station, but that's about it. You see names of different locations, but not really where they are in relation to where you are.
I think actually, as that does happen, Victor will fish into one of the pockets on the inside of his greatcoat and produce a compass, which is one of my starting
Yeah.
possessions. So provided we know the general direction that we need to be headed to get there, I should be able to get us there.
Excellent.
So, on the map, as you look at the map, you see that the church or the parish center is about 70 kilometers by car from where you're at. You could probably faster to get the train. Well, another train back. Or you also see that the village mentioned in your letter, Handel, is south from where you're at. You can, however, not see any roads leading there. And it seems that the only way to get there is by boat, steamboat.
Where first?
Was closer.
Yeah, the village of Handel is about. You'd say it would take you about an hour by steamboat.
Is there a steamboat nearby?
I don't know.
Even if there isn't actually, if we're at this sort of station that's also relatively close to the river,
Yep.
I know that there are train schedules. Are there boat schedules posted anywhere here?
There are no boat schedules, but looking around, you can see that there are several boats over by the lumber mill.
We could always ask.
Outrageous.
Is there an information kiosk or a ticket
So-
stand?
I
sort
love,
of.
and this is
Yep.
ADHD 101. You said the word kiosk, and I was like, that would be appropriate because the word kiosk was brought by the Vikings to England. That's how it got into English. And I was like, shut up, brain, I'm doing something.
And your brain was like, you need to tell everybody on stream immediately or else.
That's it.
Yep.
Otherwise,
Yep.
you will not
Big
be able
Feel
to
that,
stop
feel
thinking
that.
about that. Yeah.
Or failing an information kiosk, is there perhaps a ticket inspector or a station guard?
You do find there's a like a separate wing, if you want to call it like that, like a section of the station house that says staff only on it. But other than
Ooh.
that, you don't really see anyone moving. You don't see anyone moving around after the conductor got back on the train.
Well, Annika puts on her best middle class face and knocks briskly on the staff only door.
Unsford is standing discreetly but directly behind her. He will say nothing.
You hear some shuffling of boots, and then opening just a little bit, see a gray-haired, wrinkled face. Just what? Oh,
Morning. Sorry to disturb. I was hoping you could tell me the best way to get up to the town from here.
well, it depends on what town you're going for.
Handle.
Oh, that ain't the town. That's a village. But I'd ask over by the mill. They have boats.
Wonderful. Thank you so
Will
much.
the boats fit a horse?
I mean, unless you want to walk, but that's gonna take you all day.
I'd rather not.
Right. Well, mill.
Thank you so much.
Good day. And door close.
Well, we can get to the village by going to the lumberyard, and then we can get a boat that will take us to the town, where presumably we will be able to acquire further transportation to Aura.
Excellent.
Gwenda's just gonna quietly to Victor. Well, she seems friendly.
You hear the door open again. Just, nah. That's not how that works. You can take a boat to Handel, or you take the train to Åre. Different directions.
Oh, well, how does one get a train to Aura then?
One waits.
For how long?
The face disappears for a moment, and then about 3 hours.
Lovely. Thank you.
Question, Adana. Which place is the place we're trying to get to? Boat place or train place?
Train place.
Order.
Yes.
Yeah,
So-
we technically got contacts from both, I think.
Yeah.
But I think the one that we not necessarily received, but like the one that we technically heard first, which was about the like something in the forest
Yep.
that was like killing people and tearing it up, was in Order.
Excellent.
Yep.
Oh,
So
if we're going up that way, that will give us some time to stretch our legs. And he's going to pull Ambrose out of the stroller and stick him on the ground so he can do just that. Probably immediately goes to dig a hole somewhere as he's sort of walking his horse up and down the platform.
Do you think Victor actually starts stretching?
Yeah.
Like full on, just plonks himself down somewhere on the platform and begins just limbering up.
So is this train station in just the middle of nowhere?
Yeah.
There's
Looking-
no like small village. There's no shops or anything nearby it.
You see a few houses, you see the lumber mill and a small hotel. But looking around, it's basically this train station popped up in where the like a crossroads between two rivers, and the path from the Swedish side over to Trondheim in Norway. So
Right.
it's basically, it happened to pop up here.
Yeah. Then Ansfred will say, "Well, I'm going to get a drink," and head towards
What
the
time
hotel.
is it?
It's I'd say early afternoon.
10 in the morning somewhere.
Yeah. No, I'd say it's early afternoon. The train ride took almost 2 days, and you started in the morning. So, well, actually, a full
technically it's-
day and a half.
After, technically, it's after lunch, I suppose.
How far away is the hotel?
You could get there by walking for about 5 minutes.
Yep. Leighton will accompany Ansford. He'll whistle for Ambrose, who I think trots alongside like
Mhm.
a dog. As he pushes the stroller. Hops up on the horse. No, wouldn't hop up on the horse.
Mhm.
Stroller one hand, horse in the other. And
Hmm.
yeah, he would follow along. Not necessarily to get a drink, but if there's a hotel that's generally hot food.
Yeah.
I'll take a drink. Yeah, Blender's gonna kind of follow along.
Ooh.
With if Victor does.
That's a good question. So is everyone going? I presume, like everyone else.
Looks like, yeah. You
I
don't have
think
to.
No, I do think in that case, like, as more and more of the group starts leaving, I think his eyes get like a little like his eyes sort of dart towards the sky momentarily, and regardless of whether he can see any or not, he suddenly feels exposed and will hop up, sort of fetching all of his sort of his what's like his traveling pack and hustle to catch up to the group.
Yep. You do see like birds circling over the river, and
He definitely doesn't have the weapon out, but I think that like his the like the bottom of his or like the trigger of his like sort of rifle or the stock of his rifle is like relatively close to his hands, and I think the fingers on that hand are twitching a little bit.
Yep.
As if he's expecting to have to pull it out.
Fluffy's gonna kind of lean himself up against Victor's leg.
No.
Like, applying a bit of pressure, like, come on, you're okay.
I'll follow along.
The ground is muddy and slick in ways that only ground becomes after being trodden by lots and lots of booted feet going from the river and up to the hotel. The hotel itself is a 3-story white building made entirely out of wood. And the ground seems to be a little like muddy and a little clingy, as if it just stopped raining not too long ago. And you start feeling that kind of not what's the word I'm looking for, humid sensation as the day goes becomes sunny, and things are moving around, insects buzz in the trees, and you can hear distant crows and other birds in the distance. Yes, you would hear distant birds. Yes, brain.
Okay.
The door to the hotel looks nice, like it's just been repainted, and the hinges are absolutely silent as you open the door.
Is there a place to tether my beast?
Yes, there's a
And your
hitching
horse?
post.
Yes, my horse. Yeah, hitching post.
Fluffy's coming in.
Oh, Ambrose is coming in too, but I'm not going to walk a horse into a hotel.
The
3 men, 2
What?
women, a cat, a dog, and a horse walk into a bar.
I was
Welcome to
literally
Get the
about to
fuck
say.
Ouch, 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 ouch.
I was gonna say it was like the call back to the first session. Just how do I keep hearing this joke?
Ouch, 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 as the horse jumps over it.
Yeah.
Yes. Inside the foyer, you get that scent of polished wood again. It's rather strong, as if newly applied. There is a feeling of ages passed in this house, as if it's seen a lot, passing through, passing by. Most of the interior is dark wood, but the detailing is made out of birch. A stark contrast.
Beautiful.
The reception desk is seemingly polished within an inch of its life, and absolutely spotless. Behind it stands
By
a
hand or the passage of time?
both. The desk itself, or the reception counter, seems to be made out of pine, and you can see some areas where it's been stained by ink and charcoal, and then a brave attempt has been made to remove it, causing slight grooves and divots in the countertop. Behind the counter stands a small, rotund woman with a tight braid in a knot on her head. And she has large bottle bottom glasses, like those thick ones. And she peers at you from over them. And newly arrived.
Greetings, good lady. 5 hungry travelers looking for a drink. They're also thirsty.
Well, I should say, do not hungry if you want a drink. But you got there
Oh.
first.
We're also hungry. Well, some of us.
Food.
I could eat.
Starving.
Food will be
we have-
served in 20 minutes.
Oh, that's perfect. We have to get a train in 3 hours.
Right.
So, if we could prevail of your hospitality until then.
Yes, please.
There's no one else here right now, so you, of course. Now,
We're gonna be murdered in this place.
We're gonna die.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how creepy is this woman?
Like a 7 or 8 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She doesn't seem to be all that good with that whole interpersonal skills thing.
So her and
Maybe
Nick will
her
get
and
on
Victor
fine.
will get along.
So I was about to say,
Uh,
like, interestingly, so I have a terrible score in empathy, so I don't think that he's like
Same.
going to
Same.
try to read her at all. But if I could make a vigilance check,
Yep.
am I able to spot whether she has anything kind of within arm's reach that I think she could use as a weapon?
Yeah, absolutely. you can do
Because
that.
when
like,
her
it's
immediate
fucking
when her
terrible.
immediate response is to react kind of coldly, his immediate assumption is, I need to make sure I'm not about to get stabbed.
Yep.
Victor,
Can I-
just because she looks like an owl doesn't mean she is one.
No, it's because I stabbed him when we first met.
If she looked like an owl, I would not be checking first. Anyway.
Yeah, Karen, you were saying?
Good to know.
Okay. So yeah,
like-
the paranoia's paying off. That's 3 6s.
Karen?
Wait, do Karen's thing first.
Yeah, I was
so.
just gonna say, like, are we talking like, is she just weird in a old lady from the country doesn't know how to talk, make small talk, or as in might be hiding, like an occult altar with dead cats on it out the back?
Oh no, she hasn't got one of those. I'd have noticed.
Upon closer scrutiny, she doesn't look that old. She just looks weathered. And
Rude.
looking at her,
Answer the cat altar question.
you get an impression of her being very similar to the weathered birches outside, twisted and crafted by the weather and the environment. Victor, with your 3 in vigilance, 3 successes, you see several implements that, with a little bit of goodwill, could be used as a weapon. You see
Or ill will.
or ill will, yes. One looks like a hatchet you would use to break holes in the ice in winter. There is a rifle hanging over the door. And there's also not too far away, you can see from where she is into the kitchen, several kitchen knives.
Okay. I think that he immediately clocks the gun and the axe, and I think that he won't make any obvious moves, but will just kind of, I think his eyes just settle on her, and I think they don't leave, as he's just kind of keeping a hawk eye on her, waiting for her to go for one of them.
Yep.
Excellent. Looking at this woman, does she seem to come by her demeanor naturally, or as a practiced physician, does it look like maybe there's something ailing her or causing her pain that he may be able to relieve?
Let me.
I
check.
think the DM has done an excellent job of presenting us with an open door that is not locked, and we are going like, what is it? What's wrong with it? What must we do? It's just a woman who lives on her own in the fucking woods.
I mean, you could give me a medicine check if you want.
I would love to. This is probably Leighton's first roll.
yeah.
So that would be precision for medicine and
Yes.
medicine for medicine. So
Yeah, so 8.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Because I picked up an extra number.
Yeah. Yes.
For my level up. So
Oh, yeah.
9 D6s.
Yep.
Fucking earth.
Oh god. There's some in there.
Okay.
There's some in there. At least one that I can see. I might have to do that on not on D&D Beyond if I'm going to do that. I may have to do that in rolls from
Yeah.
now on.
Very
There was
fair.
at least one, so it would be potentially a success.
Yeah. 1/6 is really all you needed. You can tell that she probably broke her leg at some point and it hasn't set properly. So she walks with a slight limp, but it doesn't seem to be bothering her all that much.
Right.
So
So at that, I don't think he'll make mention of it, other than maybe one if they get out of here alive, which is not yet sure. He might just mention that white willow bark tea might help for that stiffness in the winter, like the pain in the leg in the winter. But he won't do that just yet.
nice.
She
So-
hasn't betrayed us yet, and we're going to wait until she hasn't forever before we tell her anything nice.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. Victor has fully clammed up, and if we're going to sit and eat, he's going to sit and eat, eyes fixed at some point on the wall, keeping her in his periphery the whole time.
The looking around, the entire like foyer area, the dining area, and what you can see of the kitchen is spotless. It's pristine, as if she is like almost obsessively cleaning this area.
Well, she's got no clients. It's probably
No.
all she's got to do.
How does she seem to feel about the because he wouldn't have brought the muddy pram in with the wheels. So how does she seem to feel about the scrotal sack in a jacket that is under Leighton's arm?
She's
Or the drooling bloodhound.
yeah. She doesn't seem
Or the
phased.
pigeon.
The pigeon, she's a little bit just eyebrow raised, but you get that you get a distinct impression of don't piss off the customers. The bloodhound, she's not faced with at all. As a hunter, you realize that she's probably used to hunting dogs, probably not bloodhounds, but something similar.
I mean, he is a hunting dog.
Yeah. However, Ambrose is getting two lifted eyebrows and a quick sneer of just, why? What is that?
Cat.
I don't think she says anything though, but you see a distinct disgust on her face.
Yeah, the cat just sort of looks at her with its stupid fat face, its stupid skinny face, its stupid big ears, and its drooly mouth, and just.
Technically, cat.
Right. Like I said, food will be served in the dining room in about 20 minutes. I'm just waiting for the oven. If you're looking for a place to stay, I have rooms.
Oh, we'll be gone in a few hours.
Right.
Though we may be back this way sometime soon. Also, I am a thirsty man as well as a hungry man.
What you
ale,
want?
perhaps.
Ale. We have
Do you
lager.
have milk?
We have milk, yes.
Excellent.
We have lager, we have moonshine, we have
That's one. Please.
water.
A lager for me and a pot of tea, please.
Oh yes, tea.
Right.
Victor stays fully silent and does not ask for anything. He does not trust her to not poison it.
2 lagers, please.
Moonshine, thank
I'll
Um,
find a
yes.
you.
seat.
Very clean in here.
I will myself have a pot of tea, and if it would behoove you, a bowl of milk for my hairless companion.
That would be so hooves.
I'm glad he's not talking about me.
Right.
No.
You said
You're nearly
hairless,
there.
so clearly not.
You're nearly there.
Only on top.
Well,
Oh,
Mostly had it.
that's in character.
for lagers,
I know.
No, the her is in character.
for the meal in total, it's gonna be 2 crowns each, which is not a whole lot. You can all afford that with no problem.
Lovely.
Oh.
Which way?
Right there, right. And she points to
Thank you
the
so much.
open doors into
We
the
go.
dining area.
Thank you, madam.
May I say, it is absolutely spotless. Wow, I'm English now. It's spotless.
Yeah,
in
it's
here.
like, that's changed.
Yep. And she's just gonna like extend her hand and just blend her.
Oh, Ida. Ida is my name. And what kind of host would I be if my hotel was dirty when people come around?
That is fair.
You're a fine host.
Yes. Now, I will be out with the foods shortly. You might
Thank
be
you very much.
joined by some of the people from the mill. I hope that's no concern for you.
Oh, of course not.
It's your establishment.
Oh, and she looks at the dog's paws. There's a towel by the door.
They are strangely clean.
No, she's still just gonna. Right. Well,
Fluffy,
have a seat.
Go and wipe your feet. Go and wipe your feet. And he does.
Nice. She vanishes into the kitchen just as the door opens again, and you see a group of 4 men walk in, all of them covered in sawdust and mud.
Oh, I don't think it's going to be clean for much longer.
Perhaps we find some seats where we won't have to traipse through all that on the way back out.
You see all 4 of them make a quick attempt at just rubbing their boots off, but it's still gonna cake onto the floor and sawdust falling everywhere.
Yeah. I think after a lot of probably very uncomfortable staring and silence, he'll quietly lean over towards the rest of the group and just, I think we can trust her. Before going and taking a seat.
Jesus Christ.
And
Leighton will follow.
I think we're gonna take a break here because it seems like a good moment, and then we'll pick up
Excellent.
on the in a few minutes.
I really want lunch now, but it's like 6 p.m. It's not the time for lunch.
It's 8 p.m., yes.
It's 8 p.m. here. It is time for dinner.
I painted a mouse.
Yeah.
Show me.
Mouse!
Yes, we are gonna go
Jabin.
and.
Oh, he's so handsome.
Where's
Oh, so
He's
so
so
cute.
handsome.
Ah, so cute.
He's a little thief.
Love you, stream. Bye.
Yes, we're
stream.
gonna take about a 5-10 minute break, and we shall be back shortly. And
Bye-bye.
bye bye.
Boy, boy.
I get overstimulated.
I just get mad that I've interrupted my schedule with this.
That too.
Yeah.
And
have Tim
hello
pants.
everyone, welcome on back in. Why is everything muted? There we go. Hello. So,
Oh no, the whole stream did a me.
Poor Karen. We love you, Karen.
escape.
I'm convinced it's on purpose at this point. Got to continue the bit, right? You are muted.
Yeah, I know, Jason. I love my Be Right Back screen. I found it last year. It's Stream Elements, so it's just free to use if you have Stream Elements. And yes, hello everyone, welcome back. Sirenscape does not really
Hello.
want to cooperate right now. I don't know why, but hopefully it will get there. Like I can't hear it at all.
I can hear it. I can hear it.
I can see the bars moving.
Yeah, I can hear it.
but I can't hear it at all.
Okay.
Yeah, I
No,
can hear it.
yeah, I can definitely hear it.
Okay, awesome. As long as you guys can hear it, it's fine.
It's just in a quiet part. There it goes. Yeah.
Stream,
Yeah, no.
can you hear the
Clink,
Sirenscape?
clinks.
Plinky,
The
plinky,
spooky
sort of.
music, it's so
Yeah, it's
quiet.
Plinkety plonks.
a lazy pianist.
Let's see
Or
if I...
pianist, as you
Me.
pronounce it properly.
Me, I have not practiced in so long.
It sounds like me doing my best.
I do.
Yeah.
Let's see if we hop on over here and turn this one up a little bit. There we go. OBS is a Twitch.
Excellent.
We have had this discussion before. Gay is not a bad word. Okay?
Oh my god.
Okay.
Not 2004 anymore.
I am still fixing the filter after the last time they updated their community guidelines and reset my entire filter that I had been spending 2 years setting up.
It seriously says you can't say gay.
Yeah. Oh no, it
Oh,
also tries
scary.
to prevent me from putting the word queer in chat.
Rude.
Yes.
I don't like that.
No, me neither. And it's like, no. And I can't change it other than going through the filter and adding every instance of that word and every spelling of it to the filter manually. Anywho,
That sounds
we are
tedious
back.
and annoying.
Yes, it is very much so.
Josh, I know you're hungry, but please do not eat the paintbrush.
I just don't have enough hands, Terris.
Right, it's extra fiber.
My dentist actually told me I
that's
have to
what
put it behind
fibrous
my ear
means.
because I
Grow a prehensile tail.
last time I went to the dentist, they found wood splinters in my teeth
Oh,
from the
no.
pencil I've been chewing on.
Oops.
Whoops.
Yeah, I'm
You
I'm
gotta
not
get
that
those
bad.
out before
Yeah.
you go to the dentist.
Have you felt any
Considered
urges
floss.
to dam up rivers lately?
All the time.
Anywho,
Oh.
we are back again. Welcome on in. I hope everyone took the opportunity to grab a snack, something to munch on, something to drink, unhydrate, rehydrate, all that fun stuff.
I know
Yes.
this is
I've
the
got
way
my
that you
dinner.
camp, so I don't eat them during the stream and sound like
I
I'm
ate my
rushing up a storm.
Oh, schnitzel.
As we are heading back into this adventure where people for some reason believe that they're gonna get killed. I don't know why. And
You just made the old lady suspicious, okay?
Honestly, I'm more scared that you're going to put
Artfully
someone
so.
in my way who is vaguely threatening, and that I'm going to kill them, and there's not going to have been proper
You're not
cause.
going to kill them.
Or somewhat bird-like, perhaps.
Oh no, if it's bird-like, it's justified. I won't feel bad at all.
That's why I've shown up.
Zero question. If a bird looks at me wrong, it's on site.
That chicken looked at
Poor
me
old
funny.
What do you mean looks at you wrong? It's more like if a bird, it's on site.
Yeah. I have a very easy flow chart.
If a
Is
bird,
it a bird?
murder.
Yes. Kill it. Does
Murder.
it sort of look like
yes,
a bird? Yes.
Draw a saber.
Victor's
I came here to
favorite
drink beer and punch birds, and I'm all out of beer.
Victor's favorite
Oh,
bird is grilled
That's
chicken.
why you punch the chickens.
Oh yes, of course. It was continuity between Victor and O'Sheen.
Yeah.
Yes, so
I set a pack of chickens on them last night.
Victor and
And yeah,
emus.
my very intelligent security guard decided the best way to protect Jason Statham from the chicken swarm was to just run in, fists out, just start swinging.
I loved even more as you failed.
No, to
Couldn't
be
Yeah,
fair,
find
I got
enough
set,
chickens.
I got pecked to shit.
you didn't set the chickens on them. You set the chickens onto Jason Statham,
yeah.
which is somehow funnier.
I didn't do shit.
They had to
Wesley
save him.
Snipes
Oh,
set
yeah.
the pig.
It was all
yeah.
Wesley Snipes. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Victor in Skyrim. You can't punch the chicken.
And I'm sure Wesley Snipes had nothing to do with Jason Statham riding a ball of hair.
Wesley Snipes had nothing to do with that. That was all Darius' idea.
Yeah. Okay. So, tangents aside,
Yes.
Sorry.
I mean I don't mind tangenting, but we would like to get some story done as well.
Why not? Why not?
Ass.
We're in a slightly sawdusty dining room.
Yes, as you hear clanking and movement, what appears to be a large metal pot steaming with something that smells heavy of various wild herbs moves into the dining room. The pot kind of obscures the woman carrying it until she plops it down on a call a pot holder, like one of those heat protective things, a wooden slab on top of a table,
Excellent.
and the clanking comes from the large bent ladle that she then plops into this pot. A few back and forth between the kitchen and the dining room, sees a amount of bowls and cutlery also landed next to this large pot, as well as freshly baked bread, some cheese, and butter. And you also see a large stack of crisped bread that seems to be scented with fennel.
Very nice.
I'm
This all
gonna go
sounds delightful.
ham on this bread.
There's ham as well.
No.
It's gonna be when I'm done.
And then she'll take the ladle and just clang, 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 clang against the pot and says, if you need me to serve for you, that seems like a you problem. And she's gonna leave.
Yeah,
I
Leighton will
think there's
be
already
up.
a queue.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you guys are like
I'm not-
grabbing pots and everything, Leighton will happily serve you guys your meat, your dish into your bowls.
Lovely.
Ansfred will very deliberately take the first bite of everything
Mhm.
and kind of make sure that he's within Victor's eye line when he does it.
I think what is it, like Victor actually like nods as he sees what you're doing and will fully wait at the very back of the line so that by the time he does get up to the gets up to the pot, he'll sort of like lean over, hoping that there is little enough in the bottom that like if there was any obvious issue with it, even if it had sunk to the bottom, it would be visible. And
Yeah.
presuming he can't see anything, he will decide that he was correct and the woman can probably be trusted and will accept a bowl.
Blender was
Yeah.
one of the first up there, grabbed a hunk of bread, hunk of cheese, some of the flatbreads, heaps of butter, big bowl of stuff, and then went back and stood in line next to Victor and waited for him to get up there and actually get his stuff before sitting back down to eat. If they're going to poison me, they're going to have to try harder.
Yep, Leighton will literally serve anybody who wants to be served before serving himself, and then take his stuff down and sit. I think he's got another bowl that just has a little bit in it that he's put down under the table for Ambrose as well.
The stew in the pot is thick and meaty and has big chunks of root vegetables in it.
Ooh.
And it's also
What sort of meat is
game,
Chicken.
mostly.
Alright.
It's the shit
Victor
that
is
I make for
very,
you.
very into that. He will probably have 2 large bowls.
Yeah, it's the shit that I make you. And I'm just letting you all know, Fluffy's getting a full portion of all of this as well. Like, no little bottles. This dog's getting a full fucking portion, except the fennel bread. I don't think dogs can have fennel.
I haven't actually looked it up.
But
Probably.
Einar is getting the fennel bread.
Yep.
He's a baby.
As you're enjoying the
Victor
meal,
catches himself almost wishing it was poisoned.
Blender's actually
Almost.
going to bring that up in conversation if it's okay.
Yeah.
It's, sorry, you're all good.
Yep. As you're enjoying the meal, you do get that prickling sensation of being watched. And from the
By the
other
lumberjacks?
table with the lumberjacks, they are like glancing over. You can see that there's a stark difference between how you are dressed and how they are dressed. And you are decidedly cleaner.
Am I?
I mean, they are.
2 days on the road. I'm not sure.
Well, they are covered in sawdust
Then
and mud.
the lumberjacks, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, no, that is fair.
Like,
I
we've just
do
been
have
sitting on a
blood
train. We
me.
kind of got that dirty.
I do have blood on
Yeah.
my
Oh,
clothes.
God.
It hasn't quite washed out.
Hmm.
They're pretty
Uh,
stained.
I'm aware
Attica
that
looks
it's
pretty
coming
good
from
for
the
having
other
spent
table.
2 days on a
Yeah.
train.
I'm aware that it's coming from the other table, but he literally cannot help himself. If I feel I'm being watched, I would like to check the window for birds.
Absolutely, you can do that. You're all getting
1 6.
Yeah.
And 4 5s. God damn it.
You do see
Like
that
a
they
bunch of
are
hubris.
like while looking out through the window, even with as obviously hand blown windows. You can
Mhm.
still see like against the sky. You can see the silhouettes of birds in the sky.
If they're in the sky and not on the windowsill, he'll not comment
So,
and will continue to eat.
how has Victor been reacting to and she just points at the bird, at the pigeon. Josh?
Oh, not badly actually. Like he doesn't like it, but he's been pretty chill about it.
How long have you guys been hanging around?
I think about a couple of months we've all known each other.
Something like that.
And he hasn't killed it.
No. Sorry, is this in character? No.
Yeah. Special.
He knows. Enar is useful.
Special bird.
You need to get a message
Nice.
faster somewhere. Enar is the place to come.
I do not trust it, but I trust Ansfried. And I would rather not make him sad. As much as I don't understand why it would.
You've changed.
Mm.
This is not said in a way of it's a good thing or a bad thing. It's just an observation.
I think there's just like a low sort of like that comes out of him that I can't tell if it's sort of in agreement or complaint or what, but he will just sort of and then back into
Non-committal
his
sound.
soup.
She's gonna kind of bump your shoulder a little bit.
So, Anna, does Blender live in the castle with us? Is this our first meeting of Blender?
Oh, you've seen her around. You've met her before.
I think
Okay.
he would have. I don't know I don't know what Blender's living situation is like, because Victor fully lives in the castle because he's homeless otherwise.
Oh yeah, no. So like to be clear, we probably share a room in the castle, but I'm
Right.
just out most of the time.
Okay.
I've got my gun. I've
feel
got
like,
my dog.
Yeah, I feel like she's
Yeah.
a bit more perhaps proactive than some of us, in that she's looking for stuff to kill.
Yeah.
Good dear.
So I think you definitely see her around. She's probably she's been around. She's just around less frequently then.
Okay.
You probably like heard, I guess, rumors that her and Victor were married, but probably didn't,
Mhm.
because she wasn't around enough for you to really see much. And when it was, they were, in public, and they were like, they'd stand side by side sometimes, have a discussion. She'd sometimes pat him on the shoulder when he got paranoid about birds, and that's all you saw.
Yeah. And actually, you know
she
what?
did
I
bring
do.
him home a lot of bird carcasses.
I.
Like a cat.
I do think actually, given we spend a lot of like the rest of us have sort of spent a lot of time together, you would know that like Victor does have a ring, but does not wear it on his hand. He wears it in like a small kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? Like a small like drawstring bag almost that he keeps on a necklace around his neck, but it's just a simple like small leather bag with a leather cord. The ring has been intentionally allowed to tarnish to dull
Yeah.
the shine of it, and he refuses to wear it outside of the bag because although he enjoys keeping it on his person for the sentimental value, shiny things are easily spotted by several
of stuff.
species of birds, and so I think he avoids keeping it on him in a visible capacity.
Similarly, Blenda is a hunter and will not have anything shiny on her person, so hers is always either tucked away in her pocket or in a similar situation.
Yep.
Ish.
Right?
Sure.
So,
I like to think Annika and Ansfred have silver rings because silver is sometimes a useful thing to have on your
Mm.
person.
Yeah.
Annika has a lot of useful silver jewelry.
Yeah. Can shoot it out of a gun if means necessitate.
Same, yeah.
yep.
Us hands out chasing these Vaesen.
Yeah,
Vaesen.
but
So-
yeah, it's definitely a callback to how they met as
Yep.
well.
Yeah,
dear.
a few hours later, you do hear that telltale noise of a train pulling into the station. It's not as
Oh, shite.
sturdy or big as the one you arrived in. This one is clearly a shuttle of sorts between different towns. It has the locomotive and one carriage, and it is not class. What's that? It's
I was going to
wood.
say, like, I wonder if we can get first class on this one.
I think you
Yeah.
get any class you like on that one.
First class
Right.
is basically a corner of one of the benches with a pillow on it.
So the
Yeah,
cat
we just
goes
sort
and
of-
sits up.
Yeah, yes, probably. Leighton's sort of eyeing the train and then eyeing the horse. Just, I'll make it work.
Oh, I've already considered it. If the horse cannot be accommodated, I will ride the horse.
No, it looks like
Oh.
it has some form of like smaller space at the back of the carriage. You see a couple of larger dogs that plop down in the back, and one of the women on the carriage is holding two leashes in her hand. They're not attached to the dogs, but you can clearly tell that they are her dogs. And
Yeah, Leighton will.
yep, there's
Leighton will
space
lead
for a
the beast
horse
up.
back there as well.
Yeah, Leighton will lead it up and make sure that it is as comfortable as it can be in a
I
train.
don't know why you brought it, seeing as I don't think I've ever seen you ride it.
Oh, there are reasons. If one of you were to be injured, say a leg severed or
Yes,
disemboweled,
the usual.
That's exactly
it's
what one needs in disemboweled is a horse to ride.
well,
What else? A doctor?
we would. I am a doctor.
I
we
know,
would
she's
lash
looking
you-
directly at Leighton.
Yeah.
Yes, the doctor. But we would lash you to the saddle if we, say, needed to get you somewhere safer for me to treat you.
I was going to
Okay.
say it. If you have your disemboweled, you don't want to have to ride a doctor.
Save a
No.
horse.
Leighton will quirk an eyebrow at that. It's probably the most emotion you've seen on his face.
Bit funny.
The
Oh,
train car is rickety and old and makes a lot of noises that the other train did not. It's clearly been in use a lot. It's worn. There are splinters poking out of the ceiling. The shadows cast by those splinters seem to almost reach down to touch whoever is foolish enough to get too close. From time to time, the roughly hour it takes to get to the other town, the dogs suddenly start, look around, and then go back to rest.
Does Fluffy do that?
Yes. From time to time,
What
there's
manner of dogs are these?
so they're a native breed, kind of like they kind of like look like huskies, but bigger.
Mm.
So they're called Jämthund, and it's a Finnish Spitz kind of that kind of build, but big. They're little bigger than your German Shepherd kind of dog.
Uh-huh.
And they are trained to hunt moose.
What
Which is something that cars can't even do.
Nope.
Um,
Not recommended.
well, not if you haven't trained them.
Of course. Shit, I didn't think of that.
Put a
Yeah,
rhubarb on the
yeah.
front and some spotlights, and you'll be fine.
I don't think it will. Yeah, can I do a vigilance?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I am no Victor, but
May
I got 4 in this.
May I do the same? If Fluffy's
That's no
looking-
6s. It's a 5 and a 4.
Yeah, absolutely. Blanda, you can absolutely do that.
Trying to look at what my dog is looking at. So what do I do here? Vigilance. So what I've got in vigilance is 2, and then what I've got in logic.
Yep.
Yep.
So I've got 6.
Hey,
Like,
nice.
this is very much an Annika thing, not a me thing, but
Yeah, I was gonna say, can I look around at the other people in the train cart?
Yeah,
See
absolutely.
if anyone stands out as being unusual.
Adana,
Mm-hmm.
what is Ambrose doing?
He is making various noises and seems extremely uncomfortable.
Is he
Okay.
staring in a particular direction?
oh, it looks beautiful.
Straight up.
It seems to, from time to time, look over to a couple of the passengers that got on at the same time as you. And, who rolled vigilance?
I got 2 6s.
Excellent.
So,
Nice.
I
And then
might
like
I
a
as
2
well,
or 3
just
or 1.
because
absolutely.
it feels weird after everything so far to not
Mhm.
have Victor roll vigilance in
I
response.
may
to
as well do
something.
the same.
However, I
Apparently.
also rolled no 6s, so I
Vigilance
noticed nothing.
2 and logic is somewhere. Logic is 5, so 7.
Nice.
Let me see.
You're more vigilant than I am for now.
Oh, Annika has got this as well in spades.
Oh, I only rolled 1 success though. I got to roll 6 dice for my observation and only got 1 success. So
Did you roll
That's a
vigilance or
success.
observation?
I rolled observation.
Oh, okay.
Because I think she
got-
was looking at other like
Yeah,
people
yeah, yeah.
in the.
Like vigilance, I would have rolled the same amount of dice.
So, for those interested, I posted a image of this particular type of dog
Yeah.
on the stream and in the chat.
Yeah, beautiful.
Oh,
I also rolled a 6.
Okay,
by the
that
way.
baby.
Just one.
That's like a
What a
husky
very
cross
good
with a
boy.
Shiba Inu in the face. I don't
Big
know
as
Yeah.
why,
Papa.
but that's
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's the like the natural like smile shaped mouth and the round face
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
best
tail.
Papa.
and the tail. True.
But yeah. Anyone who actually got a success on observance or vigilance, you notice Ambrose staring, absolutely just not letting go of that visual, towards 2 of the passengers that got on at the same time as you.
okay.
Both of them.
What did they look like?
Yeah, so Annika, you notice that they seem to be looking at you from time to time, as if observing trying to take a measure of you. Blenda, you notice that they are wearing work clothing, like proper linen, like rough, almost denim quality. Denim didn't exist in this era, but here in this era, but similar quality.
Yeah.
But
Dirty fabric.
yeah, sturdy fabrics, almost like jute fabrics,
Yeah.
and but they're not covered in sawdust. There seem
What
to
are they
be
covered in?
grains of limestone on their clothing. And with your 2 successes, you can tell that they have very clearly come onto the train the same time you did to keep an eye on you guys. They're trying to be covert about it, but
Oh.
you know, with 2 successes, for lack of a better metaphor, Blenda is like a hawk on them.
Oh.
Sorry, babe.
Ooh.
May I? Gang?
Alright,
Alright.
none of us have noticed that just yet.
Belinda's going to very quietly to Victor. These 2 are watching us. And she's going to stand and like whistle to Fluffy. And she's gonna go and how are they sat? Is there a seat in between them perhaps?
They're sitting across from each other.
Excellent. I'm gonna go and sit next to one of them.
Okay.
Yeah, Victor has nodded in response to the statement, and he's keeping it very slow, but his hand has inched towards his pack and is within grabbing distance of his gun.
Okay.
I would like to, as Blender goes over, I would like to use my talent, please. Because my talent is Eagle Eye, so I get a +2 to vigilance when interpreting something that I am not directly involved in.
Okay.
So I would like to
Excellent.
Eagle Eye vigilance as Blender interacts with these 2 people.
Ooh,
Yep.
I actually love that.
Absolutely.
sick.
Anyone else want to use a talent or do something in the
I have
scene?
marksman.
I wouldn't recommend firing a gun at that close range.
Yeah, considering it's for range 1 to 3.
Yeah, also
Answer it.
rifle.
Answered similar to Victor, just prepares himself for violence. But
Are they the only other 2 people on the train, by the way?
No, there are a couple of
No.
other people that seem a little bothered by the situation, but it's hard to tell if they're bothered by the 2 men you're interacting with, the whole train nearly falling apart feeling, or the long shadows of the afternoon creeping into the carriage.
I think at this point, Leighton is sort of watching them, hand on Ambrose, just sort of vaguely. He's looking at them like he's in the 5 Mile Stare, like he's not really looking, but he's looking. And he's sort of trying to observe them from a distance to see if there seem to be any long-standing injuries, the way they move, anything like that he might be able to exploit if need be.
Okay, give me a medicine check.
Medicine. That is a. Where is my character
Ignore
sheet?
that.
Combat medic spots your bad knee from across the room and cripples you.
Again.
That is a 5
Then
plus
cripples you.
4. So that is an 8. That is 8 sixes. I'm going to do this in 2 sets so I can actually see all the results.
In case anyone's interested, I rolled 8 dice for my Eagle Eye and only got 2 successes.
Yep, I only got
but-
1 success
average.
from that.
Two's pretty damn good though.
Like 2's
Two is-
fine,
two
but
is-
I rolled 8 dice and then I got 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 5.
that is
Yeah, okay.
perfectly on average. I don't know why people are complaining about this.
Look, I still feel gypped.
It's annoying.
Yeah. He's like, I rolled 8 dice and I only got
No,
Two.
I
I
think
was
it's
like, that beats the average. What are you talking
it's
about?
also coming from the it's the like, as much as I love D&D, it is definitely also the poison of coming from D&D,
Yeah.
where it's
Mm.
like in so many systems it's like, oh, I rolled average and that's a good thing, as
Yeah.
opposed to D&D where it's like, I didn't roll exceptionally, damn it, next
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
Consider
yeah,
I
no.
am just easily bothered.
There is
I
that
just
too.
I just wanted to be like mind-blowingly brilliant, and I just have to
Right?
settle for being.
But my love, you
pretty
are
good.
mind-blowingly brilliant. You're just not in this particular instant.
Yes.
And like, in order for you to
Therefore,
get like the whole scene, you basically need one success.
Okay.
2 will give you more details, but keeping an eye on the situation, you need one success to successfully, keep an eye on everything.
Are there any of our little friends around?
No.
Hmm.
In which case, the only other thing Ansfred will do is begin petting Einar.
Mhm.
Takes him off his shoulder and is holding him, one hand cupped underneath, and is stroking the back of his head.
you can do that with one of my lorikeets, but the other one will just bite the shit out of you. And take
What I'm
it.
about to do with him, if violence ensues, I cannot do with one of your lorikeets.
No, you may be able to do it with Woody. That is
You might be
And-
encouraged to if it bites the shit out of you.
Ensford invented the fastball.
I'm more
Here,
thinking
catch.
pocket glitter. But
With my African grace like
No,
that.
you could absolutely throw Woody at someone like that, and she
Yeah.
would go for him.
So yeah, that's what I do.
Pocket full of pocket pigeon.
I mean, one of my groups have a pocket will-o-wisp that they keep shaking in the jar they caught it in. So
Me with a jar of bees. Nothing bad's gonna happen on this train.
Douse his pigeon with holy water.
Me
Yes.
throwing the bee jar at
Yes,
the ground. Everything is
uh,
fine and under control.
Linda, the
Alright.
man you sat down next to clicks his teeth with his tongue and then gives you a side eye and just. Right?
Fluffy is going to sit himself up on the seat next to the other guy. Strangely humanoid, he is just sat perfectly stock still, looking dead at the guy next to Blender. Is there a quarry nearby, is there?
Yes.
Where?
About an hour that way, and he points south.
Didn't know there was a quarry. Why are you watching us? I have 2 empathy.
So does like.
Why did you even say that?
Which part? Why is there a quarry nearby?
No, I have 2 empathy.
Out of character.
Very meta statement.
No, that part's out of character. The first part,
Hmm.
however. Why are you watching
Not-
us?
Not every day you get city folk here.
City folk.
Yes.
She's going to turn to look at him and just gesture to the everything about her.
Have you seen my everything?
Hunting dog. Hunting rifle. Covered in dried old blood. City folk.
You're not from around here, so you're city folk.
I love this guy.
Now, I'm not highly educated. However, I feel your statement may be wrong. You didn't explain. Why are you following us?
Well, we were asked to.
By?
A man with power.
Yes, we've all met them. Who?
Well, the foreman, of course.
Oh.
of your quarry?
Well, we.
She's clocked this. She's trying to play this cool now.
Actually-
Yep, Victor.
One short thing, just to make sure, because I think this was mentioned in the first episode.
Mhm.
The letter that we got from the farmer, the
Yep.
one who was at that other village, didn't he mention the foreman of the quarry being potentially someone he thought might have been like a Vaesen or something similar?
Yeah. He
Yeah.
he
Thought it
implied
was
that the foreman was turning into a giant bird and terrorizing the
And
village.
my other question, okay, yeah, also, yeah, Victor's hand creeps closer to the rifle, but my only other question is, does the direction they pointed match up with the direction that we know the village is in?
Yes.
Because we checked them out. Okay, cool. So they at least got that right.
Yeah, I was hoping Victor would clock that because I knew
Yeah.
that you had the.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Why would he send you to watch us? City folks just as interesting?
Well, city folk such as you are interesting, especially when a bird comes by and tells the foreman there's trouble brewing.
I
Brendan's
think
gonna
he's
look straight at Victor and say, "Now you've done it." He's going to have a panic
Oh.
attack.
there is trigger discipline on display. I think his finger is nowhere near the trigger, but his eyes, although not wide, are just fixed completely on the men having this conversation, and his hand is, although not on the trigger, like one hand is fully on the gun.
He's going to have a panic. He's not going to shoot you. He's just going to have a panic attack.
Well, the other man sitting across from you, Blanda, looks between you and the dog, between you and Fluffy, and we were asked to tell you to stop meddling in things.
Do you know what he sees?
All I know is that the foreman doesn't like it when people meddle.
You only know more than us.
You clipped there for a moment, Jess.
Well, you know more than us.
Well, all I know is that the foreman has a plan, and you are here to disrupt it.
Are we? Victor, why are we here?
I think, like, it just, again, just that full fixed stare, no response, before I think very slowly just, I am thinking that perhaps violence on these men may
No.
be included.
No. They are
Hans
not
Frid
going
just-
to hurt you.
Tilts his neck to one side and audibly pops his neck, but continues petting the pigeon.
Annika is going to discreetly, she basically, if she's trying to be discreet, she wears her gun kind of in the small of her back underneath her jacket. So she'll just kind of swivel the belt around a little bit so it's within reach.
You've been told to, what? Warn us?
Yeah. We're here to warn you that the foreman wants you to leave. You're interfering.
We only just got here.
I know that I have a really bad role in this stat, but
Do it. Do it.
can I look around the carriage and see how the other people in the carriage are responding to this? Because we could see they seemed kind of bothered.
Yeah.
I'm wondering whether from their reaction they seem more bothered by the things that our group is saying, or whether they're more bothered by mentions of the foreman.
Absolutely. Observation or vigilance? Your choice.
Oh, actually? Okay, well then, yeah, I'll take vigilance. I was fully expecting that to be observation. Alright, so that's 2 successes.
They seem more bothered about talk of the foreman than any other talk.
Okay.
With 2 successes, I'll give you that there is a conflict almost. Like a bit of fear, but also annoyance directed at your group. The
Okay,
fear
so
is
this
directed to the
maybe
men.
This maybe seems less so of like a they are sympathetic to the foreman and more so just like people who maybe don't want us disrupting the status quo because it's gonna mean that there are problems for them.
Yeah.
That does not sound like someone that would seriously try to stop me or attack me afterwards if I killed one of these men, and I will keep that in mind.
Is my eagle eye giving me any extra details on this interaction?
It seems like while you got on, you actually remember when you were getting on the train that the other passengers were not sitting near the 2 men with limestone on their clothing. Almost like they were avoiding them. And from what you can tell, they will not interfere one way or another.
I'll kind of discreetly turn my head and like whisper to Ansfred. I don't think any of the others will get involved. Goes bad.
Ansfred is ludicrously stealthy when he wants to be. And I would like to essentially just appear behind one of these guys.
Okay.
Behind the like, I'm imagining them. Like, absolutely tell me if you think this is possible. I am imagining them sitting on a bench, looking at us.
No, they're looking at each other.
Yeah, they're looking at each
Oh,
other. So
okay,
on
cool,
one
cool, cool.
side is
So,
Brenda
yeah.
and what is the dog. So
Yeah, and Blenda, I'm imagining, is looking at us next to one of the others, one of these guys, and the other guy is sitting with his back to us.
Yep.
Yeah, and Fluffy directly next to him, ready to
So
hit his throat at
Ansfred
any given point.
will. It's a combination of very quiet and very rapid. Not so much, he doesn't fucking disappear,
Yeah.
but yeah, it is very quiet and very rapid. Ansfred basically just appears, sort of rises up from behind the seat, behind this guy.
You can roll me stealth for that one.
Okay. Precision and stealth.
If Leighton sees that happening, and it's an if, he will train his pistol onto the other guy.
Stealthily or openly?
Openly.
Okay.
Okay. I got 3 5s, 2 4s, pair of 3s, and 1 6.
Oh,
Nice.
yes.
That's still one.
On 8 fucking dice.
Considering
Aha, your
Well over
turn.
the average.
Your
Well over the
turn.
average.
Yes.
But...
considering I rolled 0 successes for
Now you
vigilance.
understand the irritation.
Yeah, 0 6s on vigilance. You appear next to one of them.
Yeah.
They do not notice you.
Behind.
Yeah.
Sort of rise up behind, and Ansfred isn't intending to hurt this man in any way, but headlock and throw off train.
Okay. Okay.
He is
I mean,
like,
I'm assuming that would hurt.
they've said what they've meant to say. So they've come to send a message. Ansfred intends to send a similar message.
Well,
And-
I guess we are
and, yeah,
going
so-
into our first ever combat scene.
I vote
Yay!
okay, before this happens, I vote we keep the other guy on the train and run questions at him. Yep.
Absolutely. But, you know,
This
a problem
guy's
divided is a problem halved. Yeah.
Absolutely. And we need one of them to send a message.
Well, I'm
not
gonna
If
say
if
combat.
that message is, oh, they killed the other guy.
Not necessarily combat, but definitely an initiative type of situation where it's turn-based.
Okay.
So each of you,
Um,
please.
Annika.
Yep.
Sorry, carry on.
No, I was just gonna say either roll or draw a card. Roll a d10 or draw a card.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, and I get to use my talent for the first time. As I have battle hardened to represent my paranoia, so I basically get to draw 2 cards and pick.
Yes.
I have
Nice.
drawn the Hermit. That is a 9.
I
have
also
rolled
got
a
a 9.
five.
Okay, well, I drew a 2 and a 10, so I'm going to choose the 10, I
yeah.
think.
Fuck yeah.
Do I have
Okay.
any-
well, that's
So-
great because I got a 2. So
There you go.
Annika also is fully aware that the guy does not have to survive this to be asked questions.
I'm going to be honest. I may be peripherally aware of that, but my decisions will be impacted by
reflect
that.
that.
Not at all.
Fair enough.
Uh,
No, only Annika is aware of that. Yeah.
Mhm. Valid.
Very confident he has. No one else has seen him do that.
Leighton, what was your?
Instead of 5?
5.
I will acquiesce to Josh in this, unless
Oh.
there's like something that Victor does that Blender can like
Yeah.
add on to. I will act as full control over that other guy to Josh.
Merci.
So,
We both got a 9, so
Victor, you see Ansfred pop up like a very terrifying Jack-in-the-Box and just grab
What
this
monster?
guy's throat, or around his throat.
Okay, so I have seen the signs of violence, and these guys have made their intentions clear. Do either of them, just out of curiosity, appear to be carrying weapons?
From what you can tell, the weapons that they are carrying look like stoneworkers' tools. So a hammer, and one is carrying a hammer, and one is just fists.
It wouldn't have made a difference, but it is nice to not have to kill an entirely defenseless enemy. As I think, as much as there are
Wouldn't know.
probably better decisions to be made, my priority right now is killing the bird sympathizers. So I think that Victor, from where he is going to continue with what he had been inching towards, whipping his rifle out from the side of his pack, leveling it, and
Blender
going
ducks.
and going for the head of the one that
Yep.
that Ansford is not next to.
Roll
Yeah, she
for
ducks.
ranged combat.
That'd be... Okay, so my ranged combat is an 8.
Yep.
With precision, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah, precision is his best stat.
Yeah.
Are you the same?
Actually, you know what? This might be overkill.
No, they're
Might.
both sympathizers.
If I may, from when I was reading through rules and such earlier,
Mhm.
Given that I have been planning this action for several minutes as this all unfolds, and I think that he's been building tension for quite some time, and this is finally it kind of coming loose, could I take my advantage now
Yes, absolutely.
for the session to give me +2 to the roll?
Yep, absolutely you can.
Excellent. So that's going to be 10d6s then.
That guy's gonna die.
you never know.
Okay, so statistically above average Victor rolls 4 6s on 10 dice.
Wow.
There we go.
Damn.
And
Okay.
Carrying
I
on
would
from
like
yesterday.
to put a bullet through this man's eye.
Was this the guy that Ansfred is holding, or the one next to?
No,
The other one.
That's
Okay.
why I
The one that
ducked.
Ansfred is holding,
Yeah.
as far as I'm concerned, is, well, either
Sorted.
if not necessarily dead, but kind of handled and likely soon to be dead. The one that is sitting next to my wife and has been flagrantly, what's the word I'm looking for here?
Rude.
Sorry.
nothing
like
else.
sort of, what's the word I'm looking? Threatening. There we go. Threatening our
Yes.
group. I think the next time his mouth goes to open, he finds his ocular cavity full of lead.
Yes, with 4 successes, you not only bypass everything what could be known as a condition and go straight to physically broken in one single shot. You see, for a
Good, yeah.
brief moment, it seems like the entire cart just every time seems to slow for a moment, and then a sickening crunching as the man's skull explodes out onto the train carriage, the side of it.
We'll clean that.
I think that you'd actually see
Yeah.
Victor like there is no flinch or anything, but actually for probably the first time since the start of this this little adventure, the faintest hint of a small smile tug at the corner of his mouth
And a
as
massive
he
grin on
paints
his
the
wife's
walls.
face.
Yeah.
And I
Looking
will
you-
pass my
looking straight.
turn.
Looking straight back at you, Victor. Massive grin. Josh, may I take my turn first, but
Please do.
not interfere with yours at all? All right.
Please do.
All that Blender wants to do is take her fist, dip it in this guy's freshly spilled blood, lean over to the guy, lean over to the other guy, and circle, dot, draw a big target on his work clothes, and just takes that back to your foreman. Josh, your turn.
Thank you. So I'm going to manhandle this man off the train.
Okay. Please give me
Because
a
no one's told me
physique
not to.
check.
Oh, absolutely. I want you to.
A physique check,
Um,
please.
May I argue for force?
Sure.
Because he's not gentle. So that is a total of 6.
Oof.
There is 1 6. And 2 3s and 3 1s.
Oh yeah. Force,
Moving that.
attempting to wrestle or grapple.
You,
Makes perfect sense.
Ansfred, in your arms, you can feel a slight, like, tremor as the guy failed a fear test against his friend, getting his brains blown out.
Oops.
But that is... roll again. I just rolled 1 success. That's
Oh.
contested strength check.
Oh, that's a little bit better. 2 6s this time.
None for me. So yeah, he's struggling in your grasp, trying to break free, but it's not strong enough. He is like obviously shaking with fear of having this thing happen right in front of his eyes, and he is not getting a grip on you.
Perhaps your foreman has beaten off a little bit more granite than he can chew.
Limestone.
What she said. Bit of a strange threat, but limestone, okay. And just goes up to the end of the carriage and just yeets him off.
Yep. Okay.
Next
I'm
time,
getting
buy
the
a
Batista
ticket.
bomb.
You see him roll for a moment as you throw him off the train, and then he stands up, starts brushing himself off, and you see him start limping back along the rails, back towards the train station. And vanishing into what looks like the late evening mists rising from the warm dirt. And the train is moving too fast for you to be able to trail where this man disappears to. And not
Shame.
it doesn't take you all that long after this interaction to pull into a much larger town. Though that measure is not that hard to beat from where you just came from. Several...
Annika's comment on the situation is more or less, you could have kept him to ask some more questions.
I'm sorry. I wasn't certain that Victor had killed the one.
Annika looks at the blood and brains on one wall of the carriage and then is just like, you know what, I'm just going to let this go.
Yeah.
Victor is just quietly nodding, just better to be safe.
Yeah, Leighton is going to wander over and just go through the motions, check that the guy is dead, and confirm the
Is there any
case.
money in his pockets?
I was about to say someone
Sorry,
check his
Terris.
pockets, and honestly, the fact that you went for it.
Leighton would not do that, so you may. But he's just going to confirm that the man is death, and on a little notebook, write down the time of death, and then slip that little piece of paper into the man's pocket.
So, time of
Leighton
death...
over here, yeah, taking the pulse, doing all the doctory things, and I'm elbows deep in this man's pockets, like, give it a gold.
Are there any notes or anything?
He's not carrying a whole lot. There's a set of keys that you would expect it's either for a house or some storage. It's a kind of chunky front door key and a number of smaller ones. No money on him. On the floor between them sits a hammer that you would usually use with a chisel to shape stone. You're not entirely sure which one of them dropped it, if it was the guy who got shot or the guy who got thrown off the train, but one of them dropped it.
The hammer.
It's okay.
There's also bits of limestone on his shoes. Really nice boots. Like, they seem new.
Who wants some shoes?
As the train pulls in
I think
to the
we can
station,
fully take
the
them
others...
if no one else steps up.
Yeah.
He's not wearing them. He'll throw them in his pack. But like he'll absolutely take them. Having a pair of backup shoes is more than he's been able to afford in some time. So
Yeah.
we'll take it.
Leaving is fine. He would rather not rob the dead.
The other passengers
Yeah.
are quickly getting off the train.
The other end.
Yeah.
Ansfred is oddly like he is in no way bothered by the corpse, but from what you would know of him, you are probably a little surprised that he has zero interest in robbing the corpse.
I do think that Victor would maybe just look at him, kind of when the mention of the boots is offered, as if like no real emotion, no sort of indication, but just as if expecting you to say something.
Oh no, all yours. Can he tell us anything? Or do I
Doesn't
have to
have-
ask?
He doesn't have much of a mouth left, and he'll go take the boots
Or
off him.
hit.
Would you help me get the chap up on the horse so we can I don't know, get him off the train and somewhere where he might be better situated.
We
perhaps?
should report this, yes?
Yes.
And he looks at Annika.
Well, they're going to find out one way or another, so yes. we
I
can't
imagine they
report it.
already have.
If we
Um,
have custody of the corpse, though, we may be able to control the narrative a little better. If you'll, help me put him up on the horse, we can take him to the proper authorities, and I can at least attempt to vouch for the fact that he was. All of this was in self-defense, perhaps.
Actually, yeah. Did you pick up the hammer, Jess?
Yeah.
I think Victor will actually. Do you want the hammer, or could I borrow it?
She's just gonna smile a little bit and just hand it over. You shot him.
He'll just nod slowly and take it. He doesn't pocket it or anything. He's just holding it, with the intent to use it as incriminating evidence if we are stopped.
Of course.
Sounds
I've
pretty
taken
cool.
the
Pick
key.
up
Hammer
the
on
body.
my wife.
I've taken the keys.
Stepping off the train into the late afternoon light, you are met with the view of a small town sitting precariously at the bottom of a very large mountain. Below the train station, you see a large river lazily cutting through the landscape, and about 20 minutes walk, you see the spire of a very big white painted church. In the distance, you can also see the churchyard, a number of smaller hotels, a hospital, and what looks like a lift and pulley system leading up into the mountains.
I imagine the church or the hospital will probably do for yonder corpse.
Would be best we bury him in hallowed ground.
Yes.
We should possibly turn him over to the people who live here whose job it is to bury him rather than just burying him ourselves.
Well, yes, that would
They-
be the priest, I imagine.
They will almost certainly bury him in hallowed ground. It would, however, be funny to make sure the body was in hallowed ground in case Mr. Foreman comes looking for his friend.
Yes.
Point.
That would be funny.
And as the light seems to fade slightly behind the tall mountain and the chill of evening starts setting in, the the lost rays of the summer sun dancing across the river, that is where we're going to leave this session.
Hey.
Oh.
And hop into the question part.
Someone add a headless corpse to our inventory.
Mostly headless.
Mostly.
That was a wonderful moment in
Mostly
Baldur's Gate
headless.
where I was heavily encumbered and I opened up my inventory and Josh was like, "Why are you
Like, oh,
carrying
there's
a
a body."
body?"
It's the,
Yeah, no,
just-
he's literally just put it in a pocket.
The
I mean-
feminine urge to just carry some guy.
I mean, I've done that a number of times playing Baldur's Gate, mostly to either drop Gortash or Cassador into the sewers.
Yeah,
yeah.
fun.
Mostly headless. How can you be
Oh
mostly
dear,
headless?
yes. No, you're
Why
right
is
though.
it
It wasn't the
pulling a
whole
Terris?
head. We just took a bit off the top.
Yeah. He's just short.
World's shittiest barber.
You circumcised the wrong head. I'm sorry. I said that out loud.
He doesn't look
You just
Jewish.
made. I've
The
got my favorite
intrusive
Terris
thoughts
moment.
won on that one, I think.
I am
Oh,
so
that's
sorry.
No, that was hilarious. don't
Favorite
be
Terris
silly.
moment of stream. Dibs.
Where did we go? I need to find the correct page so I can find the questions.
Oh, page 25.
Yes. My PDF is just being a little bit of a butt. There we go. Okay.
Understood.
So, this is one of the things I really enjoy with this system is the questions at the end of a session. You have 8 questions, and each of these questions you can answer yes to. Gives you an experience point. Once you hit 5 experience points, you get to pick a new talent or add a point to a skill you have, or don't have. You can get a new skill.
Mhm.
And So the first question is, did you participate in the session? All of you can answer yes,
Yes.
to that.
For the
So,
win.
Level up, baby. We got there.
question 2, did you confront any Vaesen? Yes, you did.
Yeah.
We spoke
Befriended.
to the vet here, right?
Yeah.
We
Confront-
befriended. Does that count?
We talked to them.
You
Confront
did.
with the yummy treat of honey and bread.
Yeah. Defeated. 2 Vaesen
Oh,
with honey and
so
bread.
confronted.
Confront diplomatic.
Yeah.
Ooh, you feel so confronted. You feel so confronted by this honey and bread and wine.
This is very confronting for me.
Hello, Malachi.
Hello.
And welcome on in, new chatter.
Hi.
Third question, did you identify previously unknown Vaesen?
I think it
The
depends because
foreman.
we've not met Vetir before,
No.
but I guess it's up to you whether or not they were like unknown to us.
I mean, it's one of the more common ones, so you probably would have...
I would have thought most of us had met a
Yeah.
vet here.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
However,
Oh.
does learning that the foreman spoke to, like, a bird actually spoke to the foreman count, or no?
I think
Messenger
we
pigeon
actually,
was my impression.
Yeah.
we we kind
maybe
of
right.
already have a suspicion as of last
Yeah.
session that he might be a Vaesen. Because the letter we got said that they were certain that he was a shape changer that was turning into a bird to kill cattle.
Yeah.
Well, we got confirmation, but yeah.
Yep.
Big fair.
I don't think we
so
got
no.
confirmation of that actually.
No,
It-
but like that was the letter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you affected...
He's definitely sus.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, he is. Were you affected by your dark secret?
I don't think
would
Leighton was.
I would like to say yes.
Okay.
If you can remember mine.
I can look it up, I think, because I have your sheets.
I'm happy to message it to you if you like, but due to my my readiness at both the hotel and the train.
Yeah,
um,
Absolutely, I'd say so.
Excellent.
Nah, mine's irrelevant to this current goings on, so
I think Leighton's fine. He
I-
wasn't
Yeah.
affected this session.
I don't think I did. I messaged mine to you.
No, I don't think it came up. Really.
That's why.
Yeah, no, that was just.
Oh, thank fuck. Okay.
That was-
cool.
no.
I'm alright.
Where did it go? Too many PDFs open. Okay. Did you take risks to protect other people?
Yep.
Hmm.
Does shooting that guy count?
I'd say so.
Hell yeah.
It doesn't have to be a
I-
physical risk. It could be a risk to other things.
I'm
don't
risking
think,
arrest.
I don't know if Leighton did or not. I don't think he really.
Didn't really have a chance.
No,
I
I,
mean-
don't think he had a chance to.
I mean, argument can be made for your taking a risk in a social sense,
Yeah.
because you were
Okay.
On the
seen
train.
killing a guy, and then your group threw another guy off the train.
You were
If I was
also
gonna-
seen talking to nothing
Yeah.
on a
Yeah.
train.
That was what I was going to say. If
Oh,
you
yeah,
all
yeah.
wanted to, I would make the argument for that your conversation with, and also your deciding to read loudly, just all of your comportment on the first train, I think was taking a
Yeah.
social risk, if nothing else.
Okay,
Yeah.
that will work.
I think Victor giving the kid that note was a risk.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
True. Yeah.
I don't think I could be said to be taking any risks. I kind of just potted along and disapproved quietly.
We all ate the food.
True.
But that was not to protect
did.
others, though.
It was
I
no,
ate
no.
an extra bowl of soup, so I would get
I
all
did.
the extra poison.
I was gonna say, in the event,
Yes.
like specifically Josh, he was poison tasting for me, so I would argue that he was.
Yes, absolutely.
I sat myself down next to these guys so that they didn't hurt my friends.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, you did too.
I mean, telling Ansfred that no one would probably intervene if we did anything
Mhm.
could be considered. a
Actually,
risk.
yeah, you kind of instigated some of it.
I kind of gave him the all clear to start some shit.
Yeah.
You kind
Actually,
of
yeah,
went,
that
hey,
is true.
we could totally
Like-
kill these guys.
Like, yeah, you had you had the nuclear button.
Like,
Yeah.
Annika was more thinking, hold one of them out the side of the train and ask some questions, then
you
let him
need to
go,
be more
but-
specific, my love. Uh,
Okay.
This is a Master Blaster situation.
yeah.
Question number
Like, doesn't matter
6.
how many times we have the subtlety conversation, just...
Okay. Have you learned anything?
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think
loads of
we
things.
kind of learned how to kill the monster, right?
We learned that
Yeah.
silver is probably effective, and I think we also, as like an
Hallowed
interesting
ground.
kind of note, I think it was interesting to learn that the foreman's influence expands as far as it does, because I was kind of expecting it might
Yes.
just be in his town, but we were an hour by boat away from his town, and he had people following us.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I just heard the front door knocked. I'll be back.
Oh.
So question number 7 is: did you develop something in your headquarters? No. You were not
Yeah.
back there. Or
We're a little
and
far away.
did you perform an extraordinary action?
so
What would be considered an extraordinary action?
I mean,
what Zach did.
yeah.
does brain explosion count?
Yes, it does.
Does my noticing the fact that they were covered in limestone specifically, and that it was them that was watching us, and that they got on at the same stop? So around 2 6s count. Probably.
Yeah,
not.
you can make an
Sorry.
argument for that. We're talking extraordinary
Not
action.
friending the Vaesen cat.
Sorry, what?
Extraordinary action. Last question.
Mm,
I mean, you threw a guy off a
as
train.
in, did I take one? Yeah,
You throw a
Threw
guy
off
off
a
the
moving
train.
train, yeah.
I've only, even in a role play sense, only ever done that once before. So yeah, that was pretty fun.
Yep.
I'd also potentially throw out the Leighton diplomacy scene with the Vetier,
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
potentially.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember.
You're just trying to give me an extra point, aren't you?
So sue me.
You're just trying to get my medicine up to 5, aren't you?
Yeah, then maybe you can save the guy that we just killed.
I think he's a little too dead for Leighton to fix. That would be necromancy, which he is heartily against.
It's all on me again. Always having to do the hard work. Ansfred, kill this guy. Ansfred, ask him questions now.
I did not tell you to kill him.
I didn't kill him.
Is there also an argument to be made for the excellent and repeated eagle eye from Keren in that last scene? Because that noticed us a lot of extra detail.
Yeah, an argument could be made for that. Yeah.
Excellent.
Look, I'm not
Hell
going to
yeah.
turn down a point, but, you know.
So I am immediately putting.
And
my-
you were absolutely correct, Ardana. With that, I squeak through to a nice even 10.
Yep.
Nice. I'm on a very
How
low
did
8.
Yeah, me too. But I get one extra
Stupid.
talent.
Stupid dark secret.
Should have
Not
made
being
it something more relevant.
Yeah,
I mean,
I've got
that-
9 total.
Oh no.
See, the thing is my dark secret is technically very easy to trigger, but in terms of being able to engage it without there being serious consequences, very, very difficult to trigger. So I got
Right.
very lucky that it went off this time.
Yep. And the benefit is that any points that does not make a 5 carry over to next session.
Yeah.
So
Yep.